offended so easy. Throw a pet. Just take it and move on. Do 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 da do da dee do do dee. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Vicky, good to see you. Do you have PJ Group Chat?
Oh, good. That's still fine. Dude, it still looks good.
Hey, man. Michael Khan, what's up, Peter Dragon? How you guys doing? And we are live, I think. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Tonight's going to be a very triggersome stream for some people. I've already been having some triggered numpties like Sean Hawkins coming in.
You know, Flatzoid, both you and Dave are just...
Get out of my pocket!
You are too much of a coward.
And Craig, FTFE, the Fallacy King.
You stupid woman.
That's gonna be an interesting one tonight. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. We're going to have an exciting one tonight, so do stay tuned. We've got Jeff, PJ, Roger, and Dave in the house. How you guys doing?
What's up, bro?
Good, brother. Oh, good.
I lost
Good
sound.
to see
Yes.
you, yeah? Yes, you sound very good tonight. Tonight, your
I'm going to drop out.
internet's a decent-
Drop back in.
But it's good to
Well,
no,
you
I'm saying
sound
it's much
fine.
better tonight.
You sound
It's
fine.
much better tonight.
You're good.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Much better than usual.
And then he drops.
Ah, man.
Roger. Silly.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we got Ryan just dropped in as
I got
well. Good to see you guys.
Hello.
Okay, so we've got a poll going. Bob lies about his pilot license. Ooh. Yes, 30%. No, 44%. Could be 26%. Do you guys know why I asked that question?
No, enlighten us.
Because
He doesn't seem to know basic knowledge.
Probably, yeah, because he loves to contradict himself and seems to not agree with actual pilots when it comes to flight dynamics.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
makes a person wonder. It's easy
Yeah,
just to
that's-
say, hey, I can fly a plane. I've got a pilot's license.
Yeah. Because my answer was yes, he did. Well, whatever it was, he hasn't. He lies about the pilot's license. Whatever
I
the
would
answer
say
was.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say could be.
I would say he's probably got a small plane pilot's
He couldn't
license,
even say what plane he flew.
and I believe that it's probably expired. He's never otherwise he'd be up in planes showing us shit, right? In his
Oh.
videos.
Let's put it this
Oh.
way. Let's put it this way. What plane did you learn to fly in? I think you would know.
Usually a Cessna, right?
It's usually a Cessna, a little bush plane or something.
Piper.
He didn't know. He couldn't answer.
Wow.
Something like that. That makes a person wonder.
I remember the very first plane I was allowed to fly. Guy my dad knew. My dad came home late one night and he said, "Hey, who wants to go for an airplane ride?" And woke us up out of bed, and I was like, "I do." So we went down to the little airport, and his friend had a Beechcraft Bonanza with a V tail. It didn't have a rudder. It had the ailerons were the rudder. Okay.
Oh.
And it was pretty cool. I got to sit in the dummy seat, and we were flying up there over the Detroit River. And he said, "Here,"
awesome.
he said, "Go ahead, take control."
That
And
was
I'm like, "What?"
What?
And
Yeah,
he
if
let
you
me.
guys,
I
That's a
accidentally
good-
flew into Canada by accident, and they made us turn around.
because that's like those old Mustang crop dusters. Those are really
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody came on the radio and said, "You are encroaching on Canadian airspace. Please turn to such and such." And he goes, I better take it from here."
Yes.
But you didn't see any curve, did you?
No, not a bit.
Account for any Coriolis?
No, I didn't even know what Coriolis was then. I was just a
Did you-
kid.
did
I
you-
never wondered about that.
Okay, so you didn't dip your nose at any stage. You didn't have to
Well,
say,
no,
"Oh, I'm
I
gonna carry on carrying to the ground, follow the ground somewhere."
well, my fascination with aircraft was really something when I was a kid. I was all the time inventing different paper airplanes. I don't know, Mike, the trees in our yard ate so many of those little balsa wood aircraft. By the way, don't ever get the one with the rubber band propeller because the torque of the propeller is going to fight the plane all the time. Every
Yeah.
time it's going to crash. Every fucking time.
I had a few of those.
So I understood that you had to have that. Just sticking your hand out the window while dad's driving down the road, and tilt your hand a little bit and it goes whop up into the roof,
You can feel,
tilt it down and it slams against the side of the car. I mean, come on.
drag and lift.
Real
Yeah,
simple.
you feel drag and lift. Mm.
I'm still wondering why Bob hasn't said what kind of plane he learned in. That's just weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I spent most of my life on in military bases and stuff, and being at the Air Force and stuff. So I mean, when I was like 10, I was able to get into a cheetah cockpit. Obviously, I couldn't fly the thing, but wow, it was awesome. I mean, I've been in a Apache before. I've been in a cheetah. I've been in the Wrinkles. Really awesome stuff.
I was just thinking of Wolfie right now.
Yeah, him and his little Cessna. I'm a good pilot. Woo! Well, to be fair, he's an actual pilot, though, commercial pilot, but he just loves to lie. You know what I mean?
Well, he thinks he knows what the Coriolis effect actually is and how it affects planes. That's just
He thinks you have to account for it. That's the sad part.
Yeah. Well, I've looked into it. They actually sell it. It's basically like a barometer. It's a pressure gauge that they actually put in major airliners, and it doesn't tell you anything about Coriolis. It just measures a pressure from east to west. That's all it does. It doesn't really direct the plane itself, and
Planes,
it's like a gimmick. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
they
planes, because planes suffer from drift because of the wind,
yeah.
and they got to stay on course.
So from east to west, they can tell.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
yeah.
You're not showing in, Dave. Doesn't show you, mate. He says put him back in. He's not showing.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
But it's good to see everybody here. Good to see you, and shout out to Flood of Banjo for recording this and putting it on. To be honest, we don't even need to say anything. We can just play this video right through for the 37 minutes and just laugh our asses off. Because this angel dude, he was whipping him around the place. Like, as in, it's sad. There you go, Dave. Okay.
He's bad.
No idea
Okay,
what's
guys.
going on there.
No stress. You guys ready to start?
Do it, bro.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be funny. But yeah, shout out to Banjo. Let's get to where it starts actually.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Bob the Science Guy. Bobby. I hope we can be a bit more cordial than Roundhound that always gets owned.
Well, good morning, Angel. How are you today?
Not bad.
And rising.
So let's get straight to the point. Let's talk about Coriolis.
Okay.
If I'm on the merry-go-round that spins once and I throw a ball, it deviates, right?
Mm-hmm.
How come that doesn't happen on the Earth?
What do you think it doesn't?
But wait, when I'm at the equator, does the ball fly sideways when I throw it?
Depends on which way you throw it. Yeah.
If I throw it north, will it fly sideways 460 meters in 1 second?
Okay. On the equator itself?
Yeah. If I face north on the equator and I throw a ball in front of me,
Yep.
does it fly sideways at 460 meters for every second?
Why would it fly that fast? It curves to the right, but
She's already knowing he's stuck in a corner. This is like just from the beginning.
Wow.
to the right, to the right.
He's got it ready. Funny.
He's already got him, yeah. But
Yeah,
it gets
absolutely.
bad. It really, really gets. That's why I said we can actually just play this thing through without saying anything. It's insane.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, please hit the likes, share the show. Really appreciate everybody being out. Let everybody know we're live. Let them know that Bob, the science guy, is going to get obliterated with his own stupidity. Definitely well worth it.
But when you're throwing
How
a ball,
fast
you're not talking very
does
much
the Earth
curve.
rotate in 1 second in your model of the equator?
Oh, it's 1 degree a day, or excuse me, it's 1 rotation a day.
Wow.
And how
About
much
15 degrees an hour.
how much miles per hour does it spin in an hour?
It depends on your latitude. The
the
linear
equator.
speed at the equator would be about 1,038 miles an hour.
That's 460 meters a second. Did you know that?
Okay. So
if I throw a ball at the equator north, does it fly sideways 460 meters like it does in the merry-go-round?
no, of course not.
Why
Nor
not?
does
There we go. Does it deviate? No.
No.
So no Coriolis then.
This is why on the
Hey,
equator they
what's
build
up?
baseball fields east to west, so they don't have that problem
Uh-huh.
when they're pitching the ball.
Yeah.
No curveballs.
I don't know if they've got baseball fields in the equator. It's only America that seems to play baseball.
Crazy. What's up, Pitch Lumen? Good to see you, man. Oh man. But yeah, he's already debunked his own argument because he's just admitted, yeah, we don't see deviation.
Wow.
do it on a merry-go-round.
Yes, it does. It deviates off a merry-go-round. Of course it does.
It deviates. It doesn't stop.
Deviates.
It doesn't lose all of its inertia as soon as you immediately let
So
it go.
does the ball deviate at the equator?
Yes, it would.
Really? I can throw a ball in front of me and it's going to deviate sideways.
It curves to the right. Yes.
Are you joking?
No.
Wow.
How much does
So now it does. He just said it doesn't.
Wow. It just contradicts
And
itself
now
in
it
the
does.
same- in the same bloody couple of sentences.
Maybe not.
But I mean, how can you say no, it doesn't, and then all of a sudden, yes, it does again?
He's a baller and an anti-flat earther. That's the problem. Wow.
Insane.
He's an apologist. That's all he is. He's going to have to apologize for everything he does.
Right.
Exactly.
No, he'll never apologize for anything
Nope.
because he has so much arrogance in him.
Gosh.
He's just.
I'm
just
sorry, you're not sorry.
He just contradicts himself constantly because he has to try and defend selective
His belief.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants it to have Coriolis, and he wants it to curve, but in the same breath, he has to say we can't observe it, even though he wants it to be there.
A lot of wishful thinking on these people's part.
Well, I've done reading on like the Coriolis effect, and they kind of make it really spooky, like way back in the day. Like, oh, it's the weird effect that we see when you go when you travel north in the to the northern hemisphere, that you seem to deviate, but they don't have an explanation, and nobody actually takes an account for it at all. It's the same with like when they measure nautical miles. They say it's kind of like eerie compared to statute miles because they're not the same. And that's all I look at is, hey, they're not the same.
You can.
But-
You can still do it in statute miles. It's just 111 statute miles, where it's 69 nautical miles.
Yeah.
You can put it to 111 kilometers or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think the effect when you actually do it is kind of weird when you're using the sky as
Yeah.
when you're
I mean,
measuring
you don't have to use nautical miles. You can use
Just
any
statute
system
miles,
you want to. They just use nautical miles because it's based upon the water.
Well, the time that it takes while you're doing it is kind of weird. I think if you're ever out at sea and you're measuring using the stars, it doesn't seem like it would if you were like on land at all.
Yeah, it's been
The way
odd.
so they kind of made a myth out of it. The same with Coriolis and all
but
the
you see
old.
those actually derived from latitudes, and the latitudes were derived from elevation angles to Polaris. So the further they went away from Polaris, the more they saw a drop, and I'd say they came up to the 69 degrees per nautical mile.
Well, didn't you know?
Because they realized every certain amount distance they made, which is 69 nautical miles, they saw a drop. And that's how they realize, okay, it's 69 degrees, degree every 69 nautical miles.
Well, according to the globe, we're supposed to be able to see Polaris everywhere. Because
Yeah, not actually according to the globe, just according to any flat earthers that don't understand things have limitations.
Yeah.
They're just
they,
morons.
I think they credit the drop to the curve. That's what I'm basically getting.
Yeah.
Always. That's what their whole thing relies on, hijacking eyesight perspective and transposing it onto the surface of the Earth.
Exactly.
It's that simple. It's exact. It's the exact same math.
Oh, it never deviates though. It's
Okay.
How much does it deviate?
Oh, tiny little
Why is it a
amount.
tiny bit when the Earth has moved 460 meters in 1 second? What if I
Well,
throw it for
first of
3
all, the
seconds? in
ball
the air?
when it's in your hand, the ball when it's in your hand is already moving at that speed, and the deviation would be the difference between the speed of the equator and the speed of wherever the ball ended up over the time it takes for the ball to get there.
If we hover a helicopter, how come the helicopter doesn't deviate?
Why would it?
Sideways.
It's under control when it's over a specific spot on the Earth.
If we hover a drone over a spinning merry-go-round, the merry-go-round moves underneath the drone, right?
Okay, but the drone is not got the inertia of the merry-go-round.
Why not?
So it didn't start off with the inertia.
Does the helicopter?
I got a question to that, Bob. What happened if you took the drone off the spinning merry-go-round? Why didn't it keep moving with the merry-go-round? I don't know, because conservation of momentum is not indefinite.
There you go. A real easy experiment with that would be to have a merry-go-round, just a disc or something that's rotating, put a little drone on it and take off and see if it stays going with the merry-go-round. It won't, of course.
But this is how idiotic these people sound. When you drive a car and you're driving 60 miles an hour and you slam on the brakes, the car still carries on moving. That's conservation of momentum. But eventually it stops, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Used up the momentum.
Mm-hmm. So how far do you have to go to after you leave the Earth to lose the momentum, the inertia?
Exactly. And I mean, they base it off of Newton's laws of motion that takes a force to react to that inertia. So yeah, if I use a force like maybe an aeroplane or a helicopter or a drone, I have counteracted that force then, that inertia. Therefore, the conservation is no longer there.
So to fit the physics, they have to use the concrete or the filler of gravity to make up the rest. Lots of
they just need the air to be velcroed.
Yeah.
They need the air to be velcroed to the Earth, while simultaneously claiming that we do have deviation while we don't have deviation, and claiming you are conserving momentum indefinitely, even though claiming you don't conserve momentum when you have a force present to break the inertia.
It sounds real convoluted to me.
It's stupid. It's just literally dumb. I mean, as soon as you change vector, you are breaking that inertial momentum.
Mm-hmm. So as soon as you turn your plane another direction or your helicopter, you break that momentum.
It's crazy. But don't worry, it gets much worse than this. This is like literally the beginning.
Does the helicopter have the inertia of the ground?
Yes, of course.
Really? So if I fly a plane and land on the north to south runway, I'm going to chase the runway sideways?
Why would you do that?
Because you just said.
Why do you think that?
You just said. You literally just said you're going to keep the inertial.
Unbelievable.
Your plane would fall apart. It would break into pieces.
He's just a one big contradiction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every word he's going to say is just contradiction.
No, it's not. It isn't actually. Actually.
Like, why would you do that? Because you just said.
Oh man.
It's pseudophysics.
Planes don't
You're
account for
already
rotation.
You're already going at the same rotational speed of the Earth at that point. So your speed relative to the runway is 0.
Right. So in other words, the Earth can be treated as stationary, right?
No,
Why
the
not?
Earth is not stationary.
How do you know that?
If you look at the relationship or the relative speed of the surface of the Earth and the surface of the plane, they're the same.
Yeah, so if I fly a plane against the rotation of the Earth, sorry, and we set the plane speed, we set the plane speed to be 500 miles per hour.
That's over the ground, yes.
Yeah. Does it move? Does it get pulled back 1,000 miles per hour now?
Why on earth would it do that? It's already going.
You're saying the hovering helicopter tags along with the atmosphere.
The atmosphere tags along with the surface, and the helicopter's with it. It also has the initial.
Right, so how come the helicopter goes sideways with the Earth perfectly, so it just looks stationary because it's tagging along with the atmosphere, right?
Correct.
So you said it as if it goes higher in altitude, it still tags along the same, right? It does still appear stationary to us?
He's ignoring tangential velocity now.
Exactly, because as you go in elevation, now you've got a bigger supposed sphere that's going. That means that the higher up you go, the faster that air is going to keep up with the Earth, right?
It's insane.
But the air pressure up high is like less, right? So you would have less drag there. But I mean, just flying from east to west would basically tear your plane apart, right? With the velocity that the air is going at.
Listen,
yeah, but look at it this way.
Even at 1,000 feet, okay, you haven't diminished your air pressure much at all. Okay, it's only 1,000 feet. So that means that that's tangential velocity of that air at that 1,000 feet above the surface is much faster, exponentially faster than that of the surface of the Earth.
Well, let's just take a hypothetical. You take a helicopter, and you're on a helipad, and now you're just going up. You're just going vertical. That's all you're doing. You're going vertical. Isn't that meaning because you're going further away from the Earth and it's spinning, the tangential velocity between you and the Earth should change, therefore you should see deviation?
Yep.
We don't.
No.
I've got a little tiny drone. I'm going to dig it out. I'm going to find a merry-go-round.
Because if you think about it this way, that's not how conservation momentum works. You don't gain momentum when you leave the plane, when you leave the reference plane.
Yeah, I like Eric Dubé's. I like Eric Dubé's reference to like grasshoppers and bugs and stuff. They don't have to deal with that at all. They can hop from side to side, backward, forward, and they don't have to worry about it. It's a good example, I think.
What causes, but at a greater height, you'd agree that's a greater radius?
Yes.
So what causes the atmosphere to magically just tag along with the Earth like that? What force causes that?
It's called friction. And it doesn't tag along. It doesn't tag along 1-to-1. It does lag a little bit. For example, at 100 miles above the surface, the atmosphere.
Sorry, has anybody ever tried to spin a ball or something and saw if air stuck to it?
No.
Nah.
It doesn't cause a little vortex either. It doesn't cause a little vortex either. You can easily spin a ball in water and see what happens. It doesn't do shit.
Yeah, he literally goes against what gas is. It's unbonded. It can't stick to something. It literally bounces. That's all it does. It bounces away.
Oh, you're roboting there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, mate. You're roboting again bad.
All right. All right. I want to jump out. I'll jump back in later.
Shot, man. Right. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, don't start talking about bonded and unbonded gases because after that talk we had with Luca last night, oh my goodness.
Oh,
wow.
Oh no.
See, my audience is torn 50-50. Some of them are like, get rid of that fool. And the rest of them are like, he's here, he's kind of learning maybe. And I'm like going, no, he's never going to learn any of this shit, but that's all right. You know, he's too dependent on Google and authoritative or what's prescribed sources. And I told him several times, I said, dude, you have the most unbelievable, unwarranted, faithful trust in authority than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but you see what I don't like about him, he's actually very dishonest, because you show him something and it's wrong. Okay, he would concede, yeah, it was wrong, but he would literally just ignore that and carry on as if it's fine.
Yeah. I remember him saying last night as well, like, he didn't want to repeat himself at something. I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to be a troll.
Because he kept wanting to bring up Cavendish. And I said,
he didn't bring up Cavendish. That's exactly why.
Crappy dish.
I said, Cavendish showed gas being attracted to a lead ball. Where? How did that happen? When?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gas
Gas
would lag behind about 25 miles an hour.
So if I wave my hand here, the whole room doesn't start just waving air everywhere. You agree, right?
No, the air around your hand does, though. That's why you can fan yourself.
So, but you just said friction. So how come the friction of my hand doesn't make the whole room windy?
It does move air, and it's based on friction. Yes.
Why would the fan that's pointing, say, straight? Why would the air next to it start to move? It doesn't. It never will.
Well, yeah, it will, because the air that you're blowing out of the fan will cause air next to it. It's not like.
Did you just hear what Bob said? Hey, Gary, what's up, man?
Oh, Gary Wubanga.
What did Bob say?
Bob just said if you put a fan and it's blowing air here, the air on the sides will move with it.
What?
Christ. That's easily demonstrable with a fan and a cigarette, for crying out loud.
Has he ever touched the fan before? Looked at a fan before?
Yeah, stick your finger in there one time, Bob. See what happens.
Yeah.
Carefully, bye.
Yeah, the air on the side doesn't move with the fan. What happens is the fan takes the air around it and it moves through the blades and pushes out. That's it. It just literally just directs the air that's getting bombarded through the fans. What's next to the fan, nothing happens.
So if you put a fan in a room and let it go, you should be able to see a lesser pressure happening on the one side of the room as opposed to the other side of the room, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So I think he's asking as well, like, if he waves his hand, because all the air's velcroed to each other, why, when he waves his hand and creates an air gust down here, isn't the rest of the air attached to it?
Exactly.
That motion as well, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because they're claiming it's velcroed air. Exactly.
like a tube of air coming out in isolation. It's attached to the air next to it. And as the tube of air goes out, it'll...
Oh, Bob, it's not attached to anything, Bob.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? It's
air is unbonded.
Oh, wow.
Where does he get that nonsense from? Air is bonded to what the hell? Attached. It is not attached to anything. Air is frictionless. No, not friction. I would say it's...
air is gas.
In
a bunch of gases that have elastic collisions that just constantly are always moving.
Yeah,
and
so
they're not stuck to anything.
No, so it is actually frictionless because it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't adhere to
I
nothing.
believe gas molecules they resist each other, don't they? That's the reason why they bounce around, is because they're like there's some kind of an action that causes them to like push away from each other. So they're constantly pushing in all directions. They're always bouncing off of each other, basically.
Yeah.
Well, they collide with each other. They're not really pushing. It's like as soon as they hit, they deflect off of it and go in another direction, but they don't lose any speed or anything unless it only
right. Yeah, it's really interesting
through temperature and pressure, right? So
there's no bonding agent. They all have the same charge.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right. But it's electrical.
No.
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 Start dragging the air around it is with it.
So you're saying you can set up a fan in the middle of your room? So wait, so the fan's going to start moving the air beside it, up above it, all in the room.
Yep.
If I wave my hand,
That's what a fan is for.
if I wave my hand, all of the air in the world should move. Then, if it's all attached.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Or
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
have
just-
gas.
And just
that
due
would-
to displacement, every time someone is born, the atmosphere gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Jeff, that's what I was trying to say. I wouldn't say the word is friction, but I'm trying to think of a good word. But air itself doesn't have friction, though. But the objects that touch it has friction due to the air, because it's pressure.
Right.
But I wouldn't say air itself has friction, because it doesn't stop moving. So it's difficult. That's why I said I don't know if that's the word I should be using.
No.
Wow.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Okay,
I've
how
had a
did you
fan
try
on for
it?
hours in the room.
How did you
like the
test it?
whole
How did you
air-
test it? I don't know. Sticking a fan on, Bob. I think the question should be, can you demonstrate your claim, Bob? Because it goes against all natural observed reality.
Well, you should be able to easily demonstrate that, even if a lot of times people have little ribbons on the cage of their fan so you can see that it's blowing, right? Now, put some sticks with some ribbons next to the fan at varying increments and see if any of those are blowing in that direction because of this fan right there in the middle. See if any of those get blowing over that way. You're not going to see it. It's not going to happen.
That's crazy. Yeah. Guys, 63 people in. Please hit the likes. Really appreciate you guys. Good to see you. Yeah, let's laugh at Bob. Man, it's good to see you guys.
It doesn't get windy.
So it didn't set up
doesn't-
a
it doesn't-
circulation in the room at all.
The friction of the fan is not equal around the whole room. It doesn't like equate.
Of course not. It drops off the farther away you get from it, just like the atmosphere does.
Does it?
Yep.
So
He made a claim now. It drops off the further you go you get. So then the air is not Velcro to the earth now. So if an airplane's flying at, let's say, 35,000 feet, it's not supposed to keep the same momentum with the air at 10,000 feet? Odd how that works. And also notice, guys, the higher you go up, let's say, for instance, take the Blackbird that goes at 70,000 or something. There's hardly any air up there. Why is it still not showing Coriolis? Because I thought the air is supposed to be giving it friction to move with it. If there's no air to give it friction, why is it still not showing deviation? Yeah. Bob. This is why he'll always
Bob
lose.
don't know science.
Yeah, but you see, this is why Bob will always lose. Because he has to make up bullshit to fit his selective narrative. And every time he moves to a corner, it contradicts something else.
He should change his name to Bob the Lion Guy.
Literally, that's him just lying.
This is a science
constantly.
guy.
Instead of just conceding, saying, yeah, okay, yeah, we don't have any deviation, so we can't claim deviation. No, he'll just fight for it, even though he fights for no deviation. It's insane.
well, it's not magic. So if we keep going up in altitude with the helicopter, it's going to deviate sideways. What you're saying?
Well, it depends on how high you go. If you go up 100 miles, you would have the appearance that it would be drifting at 25 miles an hour over the ground.
So you're saying the atmosphere is tethered to the Earth, right? In a
Yes, by
rotation, right?
friction.
How come
Yeah.
how come clouds move in all directions?
What do you mean they don't move in all directions?
He just got him.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
what an
They
idiot.
don't. How come clouds move
What a
in all
moron.
directions?
God.
It's insane. It's very simple. clouds debunk the claim. It's as simple as that. Because I know clouds move east to west, west to east, south to north. They move in all directions.
Yeah.
Wind goes in all directions. If you're claiming
Even up and down.
the air is literally velcroed with your spinning earth, it can only go one direction. It can't go in any other direction. Yet we see it in all directions.
Yeah, that's why you have north winds and south winds and west winds and east winds. Funny how that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever seen a tornado, the clouds are going in all kinds of directions, man.
Oh, it only looks like it's doing that. It's actually going. It's straight line.
Straight
Yeah.
line.
Bending space time or some shit.
They look
Yeah.
Oh,
The
man.
Cavendish experiment proves that. No.
Oh man.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Crazy. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just hit the super chat and we'll be more than happy to answer to you. Especially you, Globies. Any
Yeah.
questions, we're more than happy to answer you guys.
I've seen clouds move east. I've seen them move west. I've seen them move
At the
north.
same time?
Yes.
I've seen
Do they
them
move
at different
with the wind?
times.
Yeah, it's called a tornado. Moves in all vectors. Well done.
Yep. Hurricane.
If
Okay,
if
well, they move
you're
with the
saying
wind.
you're saying the Earth rotates in one direction though, right?
Yeah, but the wind moves in many different directions. The wind
Right.
has to do with high and low pressure, not so much the rotation.
He just debunked hurricanes caused by Coriolis, guys. He literally just went against hurricanes are caused by Coriolis. Winds do not move due to rotation, but to high and low pressure systems. Just like I've been saying all these years, making a video, and Bob had the audacity to tell me I'm wrong, but literally just said that. Well done, Bob.
He's a professional contrarian.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's got going on. He's a contrarian.
contrary.
But yeah, this guy's like literally demolishing this dude. But it gets even worse than this, guys. Wait till they actually start getting to the flight.
Oh God.
This is just working out with Coriolis. Then they get to flight dynamics.
It's just going to get worse.
Exactly.
Some rotation, but
So
mostly
Ranhan was wrong when he said Coriolis had to do with wind.
it does have to do with wind. Yeah.
You just said it doesn't.
Wow.
Let's go back
Make up
10
your
seconds.
mind, man.
Yeah, listen what he said 10 seconds ago.
When he said Coriolis had
Wait,
to
another 10 seconds.
exactly.
Some rotation, but
So
mostly
Ranhan was wrong when he said
the rotation. Many different directions. The wind
Right.
has to do with high and low pressure, not so much the rotation.
exactly.
Some rotation, but
So
mostly
Ranhan was wrong when he said Coriolis had to do with wind.
it does have to do with wind. Yeah.
So I just want going back to the Coriolis.
mind.
Okay.
Sure.
We throw a ball at the equator. It's not going to deviate sideways
Who told you that?
because you can literally throw a ball and it's not going to do it.
Okay. Do you think you're going to see the deviation in the range that you throw a ball? A few feet.
But hang on.
Do it with an artillery shell.
Yeah, hang on. Distance isn't in Coriolis formula.
No, the deviation is in Coriolis. Your ability to measure that deviation is related to distance. Yes.
So, but if I throw a bullet, if I shoot a gun north, it's not going to deviate sideways 460 meters.
You sure about that?
It's not going to deviate sideways 460 meters because
Yes, I've
Absolutely.
done long range shooting. I've never had to account for Coriolis ever in my life. Thank you.
I can show it all day long.
Yeah. Can anybody show me any person that's ever counted for Coriolis when taking a shot?
No.
No, sir.
Nope. That would be a negative.
Even when they shoot artillery on ships, south to north, they don't really account for any kind of deviation. We're talking large shell. My dad was a spotter for a while when he was in Vietnam, and he never, ever did any correlation or calculation for Coriolis when he shot their can.
And when they take
The
the fouls,
only thing they really take account into is barrel roll.
Yeah.
Because it comes out and it has like I can explain it's like the Magnus effect because of the barrel distortion, the barrel roll that gives it that little deviation, and then obviously they have to work out with windage and drop, but definitely not Coriolis.
that's it.
When you're shooting sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, well, let's say when you take a foul in soccer, in football, if Coriolis was real, if there was that kind of deviation, then the football player wouldn't have to curve the ball around the players to get it in the goal, would he? He would just have to kick it, and then it'll flow in itself.
Yep.
Well, ask Neil deGrasse Tyson in football.
Yeah.
I did a quick calculation.
A quick
And due to the spin,
calculation. Put it in my head because I'm so fucking brilliant. I did all it.
well, when you're shooting a shell the size of a Volkswagen at a couple hundred miles an hour, I'm pretty sure you'd have to account for something like that on a battleship when you're shooting. And my dad was on a destroyer. They had small guns, but they still had to spot for larger ships too. So they didn't figure north to south deviation for Coriolis when they were shooting at another ship. Okay.
And did you notice it was like line of sight? You actually have to see your target.
All they take into consideration is the speed of both ships in the direction of them, and then the speed of the wind. That's about it.
I read an article on it once, and they said that it's a mysterious thing that they really don't have to account for, but they do make a story up to go with it. It's like those stories that go with most of globe effects.
Well, me and Michael did a video on a long range sniper. He usually does long range shooting, and he's talking about Coriolis, and he says, "I don't take Coriolis into account, but I have to. I don't know how I do it, but I do."
He doesn't know how?
He doesn't know how.
He doesn't know how, but he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people that do rifling and stuff and gunsmithing, and I don't think they figure in that when they build their guns.
I'm just waiting for a nice competition, long range shoot competition again. Then I'm going to go interview some of the guys. I'm going to say, do you guys account for Coriolis? And they're definitely going to laugh when I ask them that. Half of them aren't even know what it is.
I'm shooting bow now, and I'm pretty sure I got a little bow I'm shooting with, and I don't have to I had to figure out wins, but Coriolis, not so much.
This is awesome.
This is really good.
This is funny.
Yeah.
And Benjamin,
Factor in the spin. No, god damn it, man. Okay, what direction are we? East, west, north, south, northeast? Factor in everything. We need to know exactly the direction, the spin of the earth, and how to combat it. Else we're gonna miss. There's no spin of the earth. Take the shot, retard. It is wrong, and you miss every single shot when we do this. If we miss this shot, our location will be blown. We've been here for 4 days shitting in little cans. Tell me. It'll be good. But okay, down to the left 16 inches. No. He's cool. I know. Clear, sniper. No, that's the target. Must be a mirage. Wow, 8 inches per mile. I wouldn't be able to see him. It's a mirage. I'm not taking the shot.
Okay, we can't hear it now.
Yeah, it's all messed up.
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, if you factor in the curve.
But I was going to say, thank you, 4Jax, for gifting your membership, man. Appreciate it. Roger Little, welcome to becoming a member. Appreciate the support. You rock. Appreciate all my members and everybody that supports the show financially. You guys are awesome. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, that was still an epic video. Yeah, guys, please
Be
remember
careful.
to hit the likes.
Be careful to become like Arwen. Start worshiping Owen Benjamin.
Mm.
Become
what's
a
wrong with
bear.
No, what did it for me with him was when I watched him with Brian Young talking about statism versus voluntarism. I was like, oh, this guy is so lost. This guy is really
The thing
lost.
about Owen Benjamin, he's got some good stuff, and then he's got really rubbish stuff as well.
Well, he is just a comedian who just discovered flat Earth during his, path. But
career. Yeah.
He's got some really weird views on stuff.
don't we all?
Let's get on.
Speak for yourself, Ryan.
Obliteration.
It does.
Oh, come on! I'm sure that I can dredge up something that you believe in that everyone else thinks is crazy. Come on.
Nope.
Doesn't need to deviate 468 meters. You have to have the
Why
time
not?
of flight of the bullet. So if you fire a 308 round about 1,000 miles due north, the deviation is going
308 put 1,000 miles.
Wow.
You
That's a
ever
long shot.
How can that?
1,000 miles.
Would it even travel that far? I don't think.
No.
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 You
No
gotta have
matter-
a hell of
no
a cartridge,
matter what
man.
you're gonna do, no matter what you do, you'll never ever get it to travel 1,000 miles.
No. You have
And
to.
how about those planes that travel that far?
Well, if you put a rocket on the back of it, maybe. But
Yeah, probably. Get Mike
debatable-
Hughes to build you one.
I just gotta say, debatable D, that guy that did that so-called west to east, where he put the sniper on a table, shot a sandbank, and turned around and put it on the table and shot another and says, "Look at us higher this." Literally can be debunked just by knowing how sniper rifles work. Do you know if you just take a shot, it's already off? You have to reset everything. Just because he moved up that way already means he's out of alignment.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure like the World War II snipers and World War I snipers had to really sit down and figure out the Coriolis effect while they were shooting at a target in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, because if before you take a shot, you do groupings, so you're able to work out how close of a cluster you are. And while you're doing those groupings, you're working out like literally with a micrometer on every setting to get it as perfectly dialed in as possible. If you're going to pick up your gun and move it backwards, it's literally out of whack. You can't claim, oh, look at it, shot it higher here and lower there, so therefore Coriolis.
No, that's what you have mil dots on your
Yeah, it's literally idiotic.
on your crosshairs for.
Mhm.
You know,
So-
because you've got the thing sighted in for a certain distance. This means
Exactly.
that you know that you're going to have bullet drop over a distance. So if you have it sighted in at 100 yards and you go to shoot at something 150 yards away, you're going to want to raise your crosshairs up a bit. Use your mil dots. That's what they're on there for. They're not just to look cool.
I don't think Bob's ever shot a gun.
Well, he
Especially the fact that he thinks he can go 1,000 miles.
Well, living in Michigan, I bet you he probably hasn't.
I mean, not even a rail gun can shoot 1,000 miles, as far as I know.
Wow.
I've never heard of it. No, and I've seen Lockheed's railgun, and I don't think they range it for 1,000 miles.
The only thing that can go there is like a
I think
ballistics
it's
missile or something.
200 and something miles or something. But I think it's so far.
Yeah, it's crazy. This guy literally lives in fantasy land.
Well, he's got to redefine his model, man. You know.
Yeah.
You have a heck of a time even firing like a kilometer and a half with a 50 cal.
And I was ranging. I had a 50 cal once, and shooting over 75 yards is hard to do, and it was a pistol. So.
But that thing has kick.
Oh yeah, it did, man. It almost
Have
hit
you
my
guys
arm
ever
off.
seen that?
A
Have
real
you guys
gun.
ever seen that shaped thing that they make? It looks like a teardrop sort of, but it's curled. And it's like a piece of a stick or something. And if you put it in water, like when it's running, it'll climb up it. You ever seen that before?
I have a whole bunch of videos on those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really
what
call
if you were to make one of those? What if you were to make one of those that worked in the air? So whenever the wind blow, it would just go towards the wind. Would it work?
I don't know.
I don't.
Because I've seen when it's windy, I've seen like leaves and things levitating before, and like branches that are shaped funny, like levitating. And I've always wondered, like, if you were to shape something just right, could you make it like float in the wind and then like drive towards it or something? You know, like follow the wind or go towards whatever direction it's going. I always
Make
wondered.
one, Ryan.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna have to get that video off TikTok and try to figure out what that shape of that palm leaf was, that palm part was, and see how to try to recreate it.
Yeah, flats. A rail gun goes 250 miles in 6 minutes.
That's why I said not even the railgun gets so far.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
got
want
to
to say,
count for Coriolis.
Coriolis doesn't apply to the spin of the bullet. That's Magnus effect.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, a railgun doesn't have the spin of a bullet because it doesn't rifle. It just fires a rod, basically.
Yeah. Oh man.
Applies to the spin of the bullet. What the
Unless they've started rifling them too. I don't know. I thought they just launched it basically.
37 likes,
Your light comes
guys.
out.
73 people watching. Can you just hit the likes? I'm sure it's not too hard to do.
That's a good portion though compared to what I've seen in the past.
Okay, let's get on.
We're getting
'Cause
there.
it gets worse than this, guys. You think it doesn't get worse?
I already know because it's Bob.
Of just 2 to 4 centimeters. I
You
calculate.
say it's 1,000 miles, you only get 2 to 4 centimeters change.
Oh my goodness.
What a deviation.
1,000 miles can only give 4 centimeters deviation.
It's bullshit.
So guess what, guys? He just debunked the claim that anybody using a rifle takes Coriolis into account, because then you wouldn't need to. If 1,000 miles
Exactly.
only does 4 centimeters.
Exactly. Why would you need to take it into account then? I mean, there's not even millimeters involved in that kind
So
of
not even a
measurement.
railgun needs to take it into account. Anything long distance doesn't need to take it out, because literally 4 centimeters in 1,000 miles.
Wow. Wow.
So he's literally just debunked every argument they've ever made.
Unless they're
for
really,
accounting
really
for
scouting, you're not going to miss out.
Oh, it's insane.
Somebody saw somebody shoot a bullet to the moon. I bet that was interesting.
We did it once. They don't have it right off the top of my
So,
head.
do planes account for rotation of Earth?
Yes.
How
You
much?
heard that.
Can you
Planes
find one that'll
account for
say that?
rotation of Earth. He probably heard this from Wolfie. But look how bad this gets.
Well, the way a plane.
You just hang on. You think a plane flying is going to account for that?
Yeah.
Like they might for wind, maybe not for a spin of the Earth.
Well, the wind is going to be a much greater factor than the spin of the Earth is. But the way that you account for it, are you familiar with vector addition?
Vector addition, no.
Okay. Well, let me explain.
So
it
the
to
wind
you then.
goes with. So the wind
if you
stays,
look at
everything in there, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Like I don't understand how you can contradict yourself that many times in a conversation and then walk out of it thinking that you know something or that you're
Hey,
smarter than
Bob is here. Bob, I think we just counted maybe 10 contradictions in 9 minutes of
right. So can someone explain to me like why anybody would listen to this dude?
I wouldn't.
This should be fun. It already has been fun, Bob.
Does he have fans? I
Had a
mean,
good laugh.
Bob, this has been fun because you've been laughing at your idiocy and contradictions constantly.
Mhm.
So yes, it's been fun. And you shouldn't be very, very happy about how this guy literally, how can I say, took his hand by your ears and dragged you around the floor the whole night.
Yeah, you've done nothing but contradict from the start. From the start, that guy had you just like that. From the
I think they
start.
call it being mopping the floor with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's carry on. Like I said, it gets worse. This is when it starts getting extra funny, guys.
A grid that is north, south, east, west. Okay. Now, if you go straight north, all of your speed is going straight north. If you deviate a little bit to the northwest, some of your speed is going to the north and some of your speed is going to the west. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, on a spinning object, I mean, yeah, okay.
Okay. No, on any object. That's just simple vector addition. It works on a flat plane too. So what happens is to maintain your course over your flight path, that little magenta line, if you're being blown or moved from left to right, you have to deviate back a little bit to the left to stay on course. That
Yeah. What's
That's
that caused
for
by,
wind.
Bob? Wind.
Not spin.
So it's drift caused by wind, Bob. Uh-oh. And notice wind goes in different directions, Bob. Remember, Bob already conceded earlier that Coriolis is not caused by the rotation. It's by wind caused by pressure systems.
That's right, Norman. Bob.
Yeah.
that little bit of deviation, second by second, increases your speed to the west. And as a result, when you're going north, you're constantly kind of leaning a little bit towards the west to stay on course. And that little leaning accounts for the Coriolis effect, which would normally blow you up or make you move off course to the east because you were
So in
already
other
moving.
words, so a helicopter hovering a meter above the Earth doesn't experience Coriolis, right?
No, of course not. It's not moving.
It's tethered to the Earth. It's tethered to the atmosphere.
No, it's not moving. In order to have Coriolis,
Yeah.
So it's not moving, Bob.
Wow, that's
There's
an
no
interesting.
point.
That's interesting.
So not Coriolis then, Bob. Try let that sink in what you just said. Do you think he's going to get that? Is it going to sink in his head what
Probably
he's
not.
just literally said?
Probably not.
You should probably
Nope.
look up the definition of what contradiction is.
Hmm.
I'm going to fight
for
for
this.
Coriolis, but just tell you how it's not Coriolis at the same time.
Wow.
No, we account for Coriolis, but see no deviation. Wow.
How do you account for something that's not observed? Oh, I know.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
My ribs are
Course, you
starting
have
to
to
hurt
have-
from laughing.
Crazy.
you have to have
So
displacement.
the Earth
from-
doesn't rotate underneath the helicopter.
Of course not.
Why not?
Because the helicopter is rotating at the same speed of the Earth. It's
As
not
the-
moving relative
what's
to the ground. Why
How's
don't you
how's it
understand
tethered to the
relative
Earth?
speed?
Though? How's it tethered to the Earth like that?
Well, it starts on the ground and it's moving with the Earth. As
How's-
it comes
how?
up, it still has that inertia
How does it have that inertia?
because that's how inertia works. If your object, first of all,
resistance to-
motion,
hang
an
on.
object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force.
Yeah, great. And a helicopter has a force. Roger Ledwell, thank you very much for your $2 super chat, mate. I really, really appreciate it, man. You rock. He says,
Yeah, I was going to
Bob
say,
did a
it
real job.
there you go.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Roger.
I was going to say a helicopter is moving. The blades are spinning, and it's providing lift for the helicopter, so it is moving. It may not seem to be moving in space, but it's still moving. The blades are moving, and it's being held up. You know, it's levitating only because of the air is being pushed downwards, encountering the force of whatever's pulling it down, right? So there you go.
Hey, Angel's in. He's the guy talking to Bob. You want to come in, man? We still got one place
bless
open,
you, man.
man.
Yeah.
We're great to have a chat with you. The link is above there for the restream if you want to come in. By the way, brilliant job.
Yeah, brilliant, definitely brilliant job, dude. From the start, you had him. From the start,
Yeah.
he didn't even realize it. I don't think.
Of course he
No,
doesn't realize.
Bob
it.
is in just denial. He knows he's wrong. He just can't accept it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But yeah, but it's good to see you, man. Really, really enjoying this. It was funny.
I didn't believe him about his pilot license. No, either do I.
Nope.
There's no unbalanced force acting on it.
Right. So why?
Someone has a pilot's license doesn't make them.
So
Okay, I also got to add
Flat
something
earthers,
quickly.
ballers.
Bob says because if you asked about unbalanced force, are you telling me a helicopter doesn't have an unbalanced force?
That's what he's saying.
No, but I bet he eats crow.
Oh my god.
Bob. No, helicopters don't use force to fly, guys. They use magic.
Apparently.
It's
60
magic.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic hovering.
Levitation magic. Yeah, of course.
Oh man.
Inertia
you
is
can do it,
resistance to
man.
force, right?
Inertia is resistance to change, not force. Yeah, change.
Which
So
requires a force, Bob. And that's what helicopters use, and planes, and bullets, and people jumping out of airplanes, and anything that has acceleration requires a force. So therefore, anything moving is resistance to inertia, Bob.
Right. And you even think about what is the root word of inertia? Inert.
Inert. Yeah.
What does inert mean? Unmoving.
Unmoving. Yeah, exactly. Not changing.
But yeah. Sure shot, dude. Yeah, there is the link on top if you want to come in, man. But it's good to see you, man. This is funny.
an object that's in motion will remain in motion.
So if we
If you
hover,
to change that, you have to apply a force
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's where you're getting the force
so it's
from.
equally as valid for me to just say that the Earth is stationary relative to the helicopter, right?
Yep.
How would the helicopter know the difference?
They wouldn't. That's my point.
Okay.
It's equally as valid.
Oh, wow. Great. Fantastic.
Hey, Gary, what's up, man?
Not much, just laughing my head off at Bob.
The fact that he
With his
thinks he's still
foolishness.
got no stress, man. When you're ready to come in, Angel, no stress, man. But yeah, the fact that he's
You said,
Yeah,
how do
I
I
can
drop the links at the
Oh.
top, Angel, at the top
but
of the
someone's
live.
gonna have to drop them. Someone's
I'll
gonna
drop
have
They should call him Head
I'll
Off
drop out.
Bob.
I do have to head out, so
Um,
I'm dropping out.
Yeah,
Thanks for
I can
coming,
leave so
Gary.
he can come in.
Okay.
I just
I'll
wanted
drop
I
it.
just wanted to
Whatever.
say a nice laugh at Bob.
And
Jeff
maybe if
already
you
left.
can't, maybe if you can't see the link, it's because
I'm gonna
you'll have
post
to
it
get
quickly
rid,
for you.
you'll have to get rid of the poll first, and then the link
There
will
we
be
go.
there.
I'll put the link up for him.
Yeah,
down
put the
there.
link back. All right, got you. There
You
it
can
is.
just click that link. But
Hey.
yeah, but Gary, I think you can agree Bob is really just being dishonest because he
He
can't
gets wiped out
accept-
on this
Yeah.
subject.
It's really
I
funny.
don't know if you can hear me.
Every time.
I can hear you. Yeah, Bob thinks you got to steer your car to adjust for Coriolis when you're driving down the highway too.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
and
if
he
you're
said you
moving-
can also
only if
adjust for the
you're
Coriolis by following a land track like a highway. If you just follow the highway, you'll be adjusting for the Coriolis. He's so stupid.
Oh, highways adjust for Coriolis too.
Yo,
What's
guys.
up, Angel?
Yeah, I've got it all on tape. I had a big argument with him. I got it on my channel. He's a nitwit.
Wow.
Yeah. What's up,
guys.
Angel?
What's up, man? I love you guys.
Oh,
Hey, you should.
brilliant.
You should. I'm gonna link you my TikTok. Watch my most
yes,
recent
please.
video. I literally just did another debate with another pilot and completely destroyed him.
Nice.
But that's
Dude,
why.
guys.
That's the thing is, Wolfie and them always want to debate me, but he specifically doesn't want to debate on flight dynamics. He only wants to debate flight paths. And the more I'm telling them, no, I'm interested in flight dynamics, the more they run away from it. But this is exactly why. Just what you did was break it down so.
That's because they start out with a flat, non-rotating plane.
And it's based on that. Exactly. Even Bob, with his contradictions, showed that, yeah, we can't claim it to be spinning because it's literally being fought for as not spinning. But yeah, stick your link in the private chat, and then I'll stick it in the
private chat. Shit.
Yeah, then I can stick it in the YouTube for everybody. Shot.
Yeah, dude. Guys, I've only been a flat earther for less than 2 years, but once I saw the truth, I couldn't unsee it. And I've been on flat earth journey for like every day for hours and hours each day. So I'm actually very knowledgeable, I believe. And this is why the truth speaks for itself, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating pilots. I've never flown a plane. I'm debating pilots, and they literally prove the earth is flat every time. It's so easy.
Yeah, but that's what I say. If you just follow the flight dynamics, they got no argument at all.
Yeah. You're going to love this one, by the way, guys. You're going to love it.
I just followed you. There we go.
Yeah, I'll do it. I've copied the link. I'll do it after. Because I'm not signed into TikTok on the computer. I'll do it on the phone afterwards. Nice one, man.
But yeah, you did an awesome job.
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks, man.
Okay, let's carry on.
Valid for me to say that the Earth is just stationary relative to the helicopter.
It would work with a stationary Earth relative to the helicopter hovering. but that doesn't prove that the Earth is stationary. You still have
So
to do that.
So if we flew a plane with the rotation of the Earth,
Yep.
but we set the plane speed at 500 miles per hour, does it moonwalk backwards because it's going slower than the rotation?
Why would it? I told you it's relative to the surface of the Earth, so it's moving across the surface of the Earth at 500 miles an hour. The rotation doesn't have anything to do with it.
So it's
Yeah, the rotation hasn't anything to do with it. So stationary then, Bob.
What?
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Relative, so the Earth relative to the plane is stationary.
Oh man, I can't understand how these people just don't get. I want to say it's turning, but I'm fighting for it's not turning. So believe me, it's turning.
Imagine all the professors in the colleges that are watching this and going, "What the hell is he talking about?" They're probably thinking, "I hope these guys don't show up on campus."
I don't know.
You know,
and by the way, Bob, I'm still waiting to hear what plane you flew in.
Oh yeah, by the way, I got a funny story about that. So afterwards, I told him I didn't believe he was a pilot.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, okay, well, Bob, by the way, what plane did you fly? He's like, oh, that's not important. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe you're a pilot.
Uh-huh. I mean, you would know what kind of plane.
Why wouldn't he just
maybe
rattle
a
off 5 or
Cessna
6 different ones? You know, yeah.
I mean, you would know what plane you actually flew in if you were like serious about it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. He would say it.
It might take you a second to remember the first one, but I mean, like, I think if I were to get my license, I think I'd remember the first plane I flew. Yeah, I think I would.
I mean, like I said before the beginning of the stream, when I said, when I was 11 or 12, I was able to go sit in the cockpit of a cheetah already. So I was in a whole bunch of different planes by the time I was out of school. But
Me
I didn't
too.
fly the
back and
planes,
forth.
but I was at least able to get exposure to the planes, you understand, and actually fly in them, but not pilot it myself. And I promise you, I've never ever seen curve before or experienced Coriolis before. I didn't even know what Coriolis was then because nobody ever spoke about it. I mean, even when I went to the Air Force Base and you'd climb in those simulators where they'd practice, there's no Coriolis in those simulators. Doesn't exist.
Well, think about this: a helicopter, if it's coming up on a ship that's moving away from it, it can't just hover. It has to maintain that same speed forward as the ship is going in order to land on the pad where it's wanting to go. If it takes off and just starts hovering, that ship will move out from underneath of it. I mean, there's no way of getting around this, and you'd have to have the same effect on the Earth. Of course, unless you think that the air is somehow velcroed to the fucking ship.
Well, that's what Bob thinks, which totally goes against what gas is. I mean, gas is unbonded.
Jeff is hilarious.
That was funny, Angel, when you asked him about the fan. And he says, yes, it does move with it. It's like, what? Can you show me that? It's like, oh, yeah, just stick a fan on.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, if that's the case, if it's all Velcroed, when I wave my hand, the whole lot of the world's atmo should move. To a certain extent, anyway. And that with that logic.
Equally as valid for me to just say that it's stationary then.
There are other clues that you can look for in a moving aircraft that will tell you otherwise. The Utvos effect, for example.
The what?
The Utvos.
The Utvos effect.
Which is?
As planes move with the rotation, objects in the plane become slightly lighter.
Wow.
And if they move against the rotation, objects become slightly heavier. And that is immeasurable.
Actually, that's wrong.
I would like to see proof of that.
I want to see that written in my paper.
He's wrong because the Utvos effect is got to do with you further away from the surface of the Earth, so therefore you weigh less. He's saying you're moving eastward or you're moving westward, therefore, no, that's not the Utvos effect. So he even got that wrong.
It's like he did it. It's like he did some light research, but he just read the first paragraph or something of everything to see what it was all about.
He read the first paragraph and says,
and then forgot half of it.
I got this. I have a degree.
There we go. The Earth
Yeah,
is
I'm a
affecting
smart
the
guy.
object moving eastward along 60 degrees latitude. The object tends to move away from the Earth's axis. The Earth also is affecting the Earth moving westward along 60 degrees latitude. The object tends to be pulled towards the Earth axis. See? So it's how far you are from the surface. Oh, man. Anyway. Thanks, Bob. Carry on trying to educate people with contradiction.
Effect.
I know.
So, but in relation to the ground, it's equally as valid for me to say the Earth is stationary.
Yes.
Since the object is moving relative to the ground, you can't tell if it's moving or not moving.
Right.
So then he's right then. You're right, Angel. Because then you're literally saying because we can't observe it to be moving, you are right to say the Earth's not moving. He's the one that's not right because he can't prove it's not moving. He can't prove it is moving. I mean, it's not rocket science. Look, we can't tell if it's moving, so it's what's Occam's razor going to say? Oh, okay. We can't observe it moving, so which is the logical deduction? Oh, we're not moving.
I wonder.
Right, so now if we spin the Earth, we do a 180 with the plane, right? Go against the rotation at same speed, 500 miles per hour. Does it move faster? Because now the rotation's
What did I just say? What did I just say?
Let me get my point out. So the rotation of the Earth's coming towards you now 1,000 miles per hour, but the plane still goes like the Earth is stationary, right? So then it's equally as valid.
The plane suddenly stops.
So then it's
and the
equally
Earth
as
moves
valid for me to
underneath
just
it.
say the plane flies like it's stationary.
You can't make that connection. That the Earth, the plane.
Why can't you make that connection? It's simple.
I know. Why? Why?
You said so. Because I'm Bob the Science Guy.
But did he even tell you why, though?
No, he never said why. He just
No doubt. No doubt. Still can't. Bob says still can't disprove.
Oh, we got another one.
You didn't
get
present
another one in the.
Bob, you didn't present anything other than contradictions. You're literally saying on screen now, we can't observe rotation, but the Earth's rotating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob. By the way, what plane do you fly?
Sorry?
By the way, Bob, what plane do you fly?
Yeah, still waiting to hear that. Maybe he still has to look up what kind of planes they are.
Maybe he has to Google one.
Yeah. Because I don't think he has a pilot. I don't think he's a pilot. I'm sorry.
Ask him how Disney got their.
And you know how I'm going to know he's not a pilot when we get to when you start talking about the when you get to the flight dynamics and we're talking about the rigidity in space because of the gyro.
Yeah, dude, Flatzoid, I cooked the other guy that I'm talking about with that.
But this is the argument I always use against the guys. When you're on the runway, you are spinning the gyro to make that rigid horizontal. If you fly over your globe, let's say that picture you got there, by the time you get to the equator, that horizontal should be vertical because it's keeping a rigid space. It can't follow Earth curve. It's literally telling you this is the horizontal set rigid space, and that's what gives your plane orientation. So by the time you get to the equator, you're supposed to be flying vertically. And that's not what we see. They don't get
the attitude indicator connected to the gyro should have a different orientation if it's now, say, 1/4 around the globe.
Exactly.
It should be vertical, then it should be upside down, then it should be like.
Oh, Bob,
they would only allow planes to go short distances if that was the case.
Yeah. Bob, we're more than confident. If you want, you can come have a round 2 now. Not that you're going to get anywhere.
I wouldn't even bother. It's not even worth it.
It's not worth it. And we're still waiting what plane you flew, Bob.
Stop as soon as it leaves the Earth. it doesn't lose its inertia. It's still
Right, but when
moving
you're
with
flying
the
against the
rotation.
rotation, now it should be working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it changing its relative position to the surface
It's
of
on the
the Earth?
equator and it's flying against the rotation.
Does
Now
it
the Earth is
change its relative speed
no.
in
It's just
relation
flying.
to the
It's flying.
surface of the Earth? It
It's
does
flying
not.
500 miles per hour.
In relationship to the surface of the
Yes.
Earth, not the rotation. It doesn't have anything to do with rotation.
Oh, look, he's figuring it out.
Every time he
Thanks.
opens his mouth, he literally shoots himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Bob, by the way, you just threw yourself away again when you said it's got nothing to do with the rotation.
Oh, so wait, does that mean planes don't account for Coriolis?
Nope, they don't.
Exactly.
Definitely don't.
Oh man, this is sad.
It already has
saying,
that
I'm saying
movement
the
from
plane
rotation.
speed. I'm saying the plane speed is 500 miles per hour in the air. It's flying
And I've already, yep.
against the rotation.
Okay.
Does the plane get to its destination faster, 1,000 miles per hour? Because now the Earth is moving towards you.
So
So
I'm
the
not
answer is
gonna-
no, right? It
again,
doesn't.
don't
We can
need to.
it's equally as valid for me to say the Earth is just stationary, the plane is just flying.
Mm-hmm.
Relative
Considering the plane is moving relative to the surface,
Yeah.
you can look at it either way. However,
Right.
there are things that you still have to demonstrate which way it is. And I've already
Yeah.
demonstrated that it's moving, it's
So
rotating.
when
Oh, sorry, he hasn't demonstrated anything that it's moving.
Where did he do that?
He's made demonstrations and claims that it's not moving, not that it is moving. So I don't know where he's getting that. I don't know, Bob. Maybe it's your medication, man. Change your medication or something. I don't know.
You would get your dog walked, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he says because he's all big chat. When he said come in, instead of coming in, he's just saying, "Oh, I'm big man. Oh, I will kill you."
I'm too big for you. I cannot fight you.
Well,
You are too weak.
Mr. Big Man, we are here. This is the problem with these guys. They're always just yap, yap, yap. You know, like little chihuahuas, all bark and no bite.
Yeah, man. What's up with that?
But it's anyway, Bob. There's no need. I mean, Angel literally spanked you around the block over and over, so
Yeah,
it's not like you're going to be able to save face.
a dumb flat earth. Come
here, Cece.
Literally destroyed.
Come here, Cece.
when we land the plane on the north to south runway on the equator where the Earth spins 460 meters in 1 second, the plane doesn't chase the runway sideways.
Doesn't need to because it's moving
Right.
relative to the surface of the Earth. That's already been explained to you a number of times. Why are you not getting it?
So it's equally as valid for me to say the Earth is stationary then.
Exactly.
In that instance, right?
No, it's valid for you
Why
to
not?
say you can't tell one way or the other from that situation. There are
No, it's
other ways.
equally
that
as
you
valid
can't
for me
tell.
to just say the plane is flying and it's landing on a stationary land. Planes don't fly like the Earth is curved and rotating, though.
Nope.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Yeah, I can show you documents.
Go ahead.
It's on NASA's thing.
Show it to me.
I really don't want to have to get up and my computer.
I have it
All right,
too.
if you're trying to play the
second.
little game with the 1987 NASA document about flat and stationary
There's many
Earth,
of them.
it's a computer model, not an actual aircraft model.
Does he think a computer model is not based on actual aircraft models?
Here we go. Yep. Gonna double down.
Okay, there, new pilot. Forget everything you learned on the computer now because we're in real life. We just wait.
It's Minecraft.
And yeah, there's quite a few documents, not just the NASA one. But
Is there people actually take this guy serious? I mean,
Well,
I'm not
he's a
familiar.
pilot.
I doubt it. I think
He's
it's
a
the comedy.
These things you don't listen.
Hey,
to
check
about
this
those
out.
Chihuahua
Check this-
comments either. You just don't
check
pay
this
no
out.
mind about those. You're a tough little gal. Okay.
Yeah, check it out.
A plane flying 500 miles per hour would have to dip down its nose about 2,700 feet every minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it has to follow the geometry. It's 8 inches per mile squared.
Yep.
And the instrumentation doesn't even pick this up, so it's weird.
Yeah, it's funny how that gyroscopes keep rigidity. It doesn't process downwards. Funny that.
Yeah. I don't think they understand what rigidity in space means, because they think
It's hilarious.
they think it fixes itself to follow the Earth curve. No. If you've taken a bicycle tire and you spun it like this and you try and force it out of its orientation, it forces itself back into that orientation it was. That's because it's keeping that rigidity in space. That's exactly what a gyro does. It keeps that horizontal you set on the runway. So when you took off on the runway that set horizontal, until you land again, it's kept the exact same horizontal. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
There are many of them.
That's already been
even for
explained
helicopters.
many times. I don't need to go over it again.
Yeah, even for so it's equally valid for us to just say the plane flies over a stationary Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
if you say no to that,
you can tell the
how
difference
can you tell
between
if
the
you're
two
not taking it into
possible models.
account?
Excuse me?
How can you tell that the Earth is rotating if you're not taking it into account at all?
You do take it into account.
What? That's what I'm
Grab
saying.
that, he already fell into it. Oops.
All the way through.
So
No
now,
contradictions.
so now we do trace the Earth sideways.
Yeah, so you don't take it into account. Now you do take it into account. Which one is it?
It's what you call
Well,
fickle.
when you're in space, you have to take it into account because it's spinning.
Yeah. What you call fickle. He can't make his mind up.
Oh, man. That's just no, Bob.
It's like there's a switch in his brain that keeps pushing him back and forth, and he doesn't know why.
Yeah, but that's the cognitive dissonance.
It's scientific.
You think, but how long does that last? I thought that was only like when you first initially hear about it. Can you keep hearing about flat Earth and keep on having cognitus over and over? I don't know. Is that possible?
If you want to stay in cognitus, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be reprobate, wouldn't it? More than it would be.
This guy has scientific schizophrenia.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, it's gonna get good. I'm
Or
gonna get him to
amnesia
admit-
is more like it. It's more like continuous amnesia.
Yeah, it's gonna
literally
get
at the end, I get him to say that the curved line is not curved.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. That's actually very good.
Wow.
Cherry picked it.
But that's why I said actually in the beginning of the stream, we don't even have to pause. We can just play it right through. Because everything is like very concise.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff.
It's
It
just
just
fun
might
to
be
stop
that
and
too.
laugh at it. It's just fun to stop
I
and
like
laugh
how-
at it. Like,
Yeah, I like the cover, the Glober's right angle. That's amazing. That the Glober's right angle.
Mhm.
That's mental.
I still don't know how they don't understand you require 2 straight lines to get an angle.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, they like that curved. They like that curved line better. I guess I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what geometry class they've went to and somehow passed when. I mean, if you had to go to geometry class and you had to draw a curved adjacent, they're going to laugh you out the room.
Yeah.
Because they're going to say, okay, tell me what angle this is, please.
It's perpendicular.
Because the angle is based on the opening of the 2 rays. If the opening of the 2 rays are different straight through, you can't get an angle reading because it's different.
Yeah.
It continuously changes in an arc.
Mm-hmm.
An
It
NASA
doesn't make any
document from the
sense.
How do you take it
doesn't
into
mean
how do
that NASA or anybody else
you,
thinks
no,
that
chill
the
out,
Earth
chill
is
out.
stationary.
How do you take it into account when you just said you don't chase the runway sideways? You fly the plane like the plane just flies 500 miles per hour that way, east to west, and it flies 500 miles per hour going the opposite
It's got
direction.
on screen.
What I very clearly stated was that is not a test. of either the rotation or the shape of the Earth. Although landing a plane on instrument landing does require taking the radius of the Earth into account, because that's the way the instrument approach is designed.
No, that's false as well.
That's
Bob.
not even true.
It's making up shit.
That's false. There's
Just
no
play it.
radius. There's no radius taken into account when landing a plane. What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah. Why
And
would
what's
you?
that do to a carrier pilot? Think about
So
it.
you're telling me before a person can land a plane, he has to figure out what latitude he's on, figure out what rotation is coming on, and then figure out, okay, this must be, and this, no, come on. They see the runway, they change their airspeed, and they land.
That's it. That's it.
And they don't chase the runway sideways.
No.
No.
Man, this is like,
Taking the wheels from underneath it, you know, as it lands.
can anybody show me, Bob? Maybe this should be Bob's homework. Show us the calculations for radius of landing a plane, please.
No, he's lying about that like the pilot license.
Yeah.
He has to.
But it's so big you can't tell.
Oh man.
Rotation.
So when it comes
Listen
to
to
the
this,
flight of
guys.
descent, do you have to compensate for curvature?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. So whenever you land like east to west, if you're landing east and then if you're landing west, right, would you have to like slow down or speed up due to Earth's motion?
No.
No?
Nope.
So we
Earth's
don't,
motion has nothing to do with it.
so we don't compensate for the curvature whenever we're landing.
We don't do anything
and
with
then we
curvature.
don't do anything when it comes to the motion of Earth.
Curvature is
So
There
it
you
has to be
go.
a level stationary plane, right?
fairly minor.
There we go. I
Wow.
think that's quite. Now that's from an actual commercial pilot, Bob.
Mhm.
Totally contradicts what you said.
Very telling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a lot of pilots nowadays are turning, aren't they? They're like, they can see it. They can see. They've always seen it. They just didn't realize. Now they see it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
as a kid, I flew back and forth from Kansas City to here in Oakland, you know, to visit my dad every year for like, I don't know, 8 or 10 years in a row. And I got to go in the cockpit almost every time. And I'm telling you, it's pretty much, I've asked them all those questions before, and they always tell you the same thing. They say, you know, you can't see the curvature of the Earth, obviously, and they just fly in a straight line. That's what they tell me. They say unless the wind's really strong or they have to deal with some kind of counter, like crosswind or turbulence, they said they just fly in a straight line the whole time until they get to the other airport.
Just quickly, hey Bob, you know that to maintain altitude on a globe, it's that curved line, right? So that means the plane's nose is dipping down, right? Relative to where it was at the
Or
top
maybe
of the
it's
globe.
falling around.
You want to say again how the curved line was straight again? Can you say that one more time?
Bobby's literally just in. How can
Set
I
it up
put
with an MC. No, why would we do that?
What are we going to set up with MC? He can just come in now.
Yeah, see, he wants
really
McTune involved. I told you he's their little priest.
You don't need anybody to hold your hand, Bob. You can literally just come in here now. We're right here. We're asking because we just yet to laugh at your idiocy and contradictions, mate. We just had an
Unless you want to clarify something, yeah.
commercial pilot saying opposite of what you said.
Yeah, and so did Marco, the guy that actually showed me his license.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's many pilots we can talk to then show that Bob absolutely knows nothing what he's talking about.
Well, we realize that you're not going to show the whole license because you don't want someone showing up at your doorstep, but you could still prove what you are.
Well, flying a remote control airplane or a balsa wood glider does not make one a pilot. I'm sorry. That's
Guess what Bob's excuse is, guys? You
I
don't
know.
get the views.
That's
Aww.
terrible. You don't get the view. So what?
So in other
Oh,
words,
that's right. He has
in
to
other
get the
words,
view.
let me be chicken shit and make an excuse.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, and you know what? The views would probably diminish as soon as you brought his big bobblehead on here. I mean, come on, let's be real.
I wonder if there's a disclaimer at the beginning of a show that says that, you know, Blah 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 blah.
I'm more than happy to debate you on Gerrans, mate. More than
I'll
happy.
debate you on my show. Come on my show, you coward.
Dude, you guys will like if I can hang with that guy, you guys will literally eviscerate him.
Oh, the guy is hopeless, Angel.
Oh, he's saying
We've
Jaren
had
now.
interactions with him
Throwing
before. Like, yeah, that's why he's in here, just in trying to do damage control, because he.
Where's
literally-
Herman's? What's Herman's? Jaren, like really?
Yeah, go on debate Ismax.
I think he spelled hemorrhoids wrong.
I mean, sure, go on. Herman. Who the fuck is Herman?
You got to pull them inside out. Then they're.
Let's carry on laughing at Bob's contradictions, guys.
Yeah.
I think you meant
What
Jared.
effect do you think you would have to take for rotation?
You wouldn't have to. That's what I'm saying.
So if you wouldn't have to take into account rotation,
Of the Earth
why
would
is
fly
that
a
a
plane.
test of rotation?
Because it doesn't. It's equally. As I'm saying, it's equally as valid for me to just say the Earth is not rotating. End of story. It doesn't take it into account.
It's also equally valid to say this isn't a test of rotation, so we don't know.
You don't get it.
What the
You're
heck?
flying a plane, you're claiming it's not rotating, so therefore the argument is so no rotation then.
Right. Oh, God.
It's hilarious.
Oh, but this is
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. That's what he does.
He's actually wrong there though, because he's claiming there is rotation, so it is a test of rotation, because he is claiming
Exactly,
there is
yeah.
rotation.
Yeah, later on, pretty soon, I think it is. I say, okay, let's say we're testing for it. Then I get him.
Nice.
But yeah, Bob, set it up, man. I'm more than happy to debate you. Let Jaren know, guys. Bob wants to debate me on Jaren. More than happy.
Fantastic. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Set
He can
that
bring
up.
Wolfie too if he wants to.
I could
Tag
mess
team.
with Jaren right now.
Why
I
you
can-
do a tag team with them?
And,
You and Sov against Bob and his boy.
Wolfie and Bob
Yeah.
on Flight Dynamics.
Yeah.
Can be
So
fun.
if Bob's down for it, I'll go ahead and I'll initiate it right now. Say the word, Bob.
He said you do it. Do it.
Do it? All right.
He says you do it. Okay, cool. He's gonna do it. Okay,
Oh,
let's
you
get
do
him
it.
on.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing.
Okay. So how come planes fly like the Earth is flat? Then
They don't.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Who told you that?
I've spoken to pilots like.
I am a pilot. You're speaking to one right now. Tell me
Okay,
how
so
that.
how
tell
often?
me
Okay,
how
so
that
how,
is not.
okay, how often
we
do
don't
you
take
adjust
into account the
how often
shape
do
of
you
the Earth.
just? How often do you dip the nose down to account for curvature?
Why would you dip the nose down? That was
Because-
the very first video that I put out
Because-
as a pilot in 2000.
Notice how he's not answering you. Notice how
He's
he's
running
instead of
away.
answering you, yeah, he's hand waving, dismissing, and then he's obfuscating to something else.
Yeah.
He's
I
trying
didn't.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize you guys weren't that far into the video. So he's just admitted he's a pilot. By the way, I did not know he was a pilot up until this point where he said it.
Bob, do you have a contact email that we can use as well? Because I'm talking to him right now. He hasn't responded. I said, Jaren, Bob, the science guy, wants to debate Flatzoid on your platform. Can we make that happen? So what we'd have to do is, of course, coordinate that. I believe you're in Michigan. That's going to put you on Eastern Daylight Time, America. Flatzoid is 6 hours ahead of you in South Africa, so we can coordinate that out. And of course, Jaren is on the West Coast, which is going to be 3 hours behind you. Okay, so I can get this coordinated up. Just if you could just pop on long enough to throw something in the private chat, or do you have an email listed on your YouTube page, whatever?
He said, yep, he has it. I think, is he on about you, Angel?
Sorry, say
No,
again.
I think it's email.
Oh, all right. I thought, yeah, but who's he on about that's got the email? He says, yep, you've got it.
Well, just email Jaren and Bob, and then we can walk through like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go over.
that'll be fun.
2018 as to why planes don't don't have to dip their nose.
Does your gyroscope keep rigidity in space?
What gyroscope? You mean
Yeah, he's not a pilot.
What gyros?
There's no way. There's no way.
Wow.
You're
I
kidding
told
me.
you, he's probably, yeah.
You're kidding me.
Oh, you kidding me? You're a pilot and you don't know that your plane's got a gyroscope.
They all have gyroscopes, except for maybe like ultralights, maybe.
Wow.
Okay, Jaron does have your email. Cool beans. So I've gone ahead and initiated that, and we'll see what comes about.
How does he think altitude what's in a actually work if it doesn't have a gyro?
GPS satellites.
Yeah, that's what. What happens if you fly into a cloud or a fog?
Man, this.
I guess you're just gonna maybe crash. I don't know.
There was a guy did crash an aircraft accounting for curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, I'm saying that. Wow.
Oh, I bet he did.
Maybe Bob just prays to the gravity gods and hopes that the plane gets there correct. I don't know.
Yeah, he's invisible curvature god.
Maybe he just builds model planes. He doesn't fly them.
Well, he does shoot with a 308, 1,000 miles, so it's quite good.
How much?
Or maybe he worked on the poop deck.
4 centimeters. So, Bob, that's just something we want to find out. If you claim 1,000 miles, you only get 4 centimeters deviation. Tell me why we would even need to think about Coriolis at 100 miles, or
Yeah, right.
Has that been said
Or
already?
at a mile, or even at a mile and a half.
You know,
Well, he said that to the end. This, I think. Yeah, he mentioned that. It's hilarious.
I mean, my heading indicator? Yes.
Right. So if you level it to the ground that you're taking off from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it starts there. Yes, you have to readjust it every
And if you
15
fly-
minutes due to your movement across the surface of the Earth and gyroscopic
But you
precession.
don't need it. But you don't need to dip the nose of the plane in, like you just said, right?
Why on earth would you?
Because if you're flying on a ball and you always
What did he say? Due to gyroscopic precession? What is he talking about? This thing is
He just said
constantly correcting itself to the curve or something? Gyroscopes
basically,
don't do that. I'm sorry.
He doesn't understand that gyroscopic precession is in the same axis as the spin.
Yeah, it's east to west, not
It's not accounting for. Oh man,
it's not pitch.
no. That's why
It's
you
not the
got
pitch of the plane.
2 gyros. You got one for vertical and one for horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
There you go,
Roger
Bob.
Little.
Nailed it.
Roger, thank you for your $2 super chat, man. Appreciate the support, you rock. He says, Bob, come in, sir. He's making excuses not to come in, Roger. Hopefully he'll show up for the debate on Jaron.
Oh, well, you just don't get enough viewers for him. Or
He'll pull
explain
out
it.
for
You'll
sure.
just do it for viewers, like anybody's paying attention to his dumb ass. Oh, hey, everybody. Somebody rushes into the restaurant. Stop what you're doing. Bob, the science guy, is not flatoid. You know.
Dude, he ran away from
Who
Caleb. So.
the fuck is Bob, the science
He
guy?
ran
I
from-
just
did he
now
run from
heard about
Caleb?
you.
Yeah, he ran from Caleb.
But Caleb, to be fair, he's actually very good.
I like Caleb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's still
Caleb's
young. He's
brilliant.
still got a lot to learn, but
Hey,
he's
you
got
know-
potential.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, yeah,
He's good.
definitely. I went on his channel and on TikTok pretending to be a glober, and then I admitted to him that I was a flat earther, and he had a laugh, and then we added each other. So now we're in contact.
Oh, but Caleb's a cool guy, though. He's really cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
You did that. You did that to FED, didn't you? Flats went on pretending to be a glober. It trolled him. Yeah.
Professor
That was
Pousson.
funny.
Professor
Yeah.
Pousson.
Oh, it was funny.
Bob says I must pay him $200
What the
an
heck?
hour.
Grab
That-
one?
Dude, I wouldn't
Who does this guy
pay him.
think he is?
I wouldn't pay him a cent. Literally,
Dude, the guy's
we're doing.
useless.
Yeah, we're doing him a favor not to actually ban him in my chat at the moment.
$200 an
That's-
hour for what? For his
for
presence?
what?
What?
Dude,
kidding?
you look
What-
like a bobblehead. I mean, what the fuck is so special about you?
Wow.
I mean,
Obviously
literally.
retarded. You have scientific schizophrenia. Okay.
Yep.
You contradict yourself sentence after sentence.
Dude, Bob, you said that
Scientific
curved
amnesia.
line is straight.
He did. He said that curve line is straight, guys.
Yeah.
And he just said you adjust the gyro every 15 minutes.
Just the gyro.
So
You
guess
would
what?
just
A pilot that flies 18 hours and literally sits every 15 minutes and adjusts the
Well,
gyro.
So he has to land. He has to land and respin it, huh?
Adjust it. You have to plan to adjust it, isn't it? Because you have to set it with horizontal.
Oh man.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Fly straight, and actually, pilots fly with their nose slightly up to maintain altitude.
Angle
right?
of attack.
Correct.
If you never dip the nose down, you'll end up in space.
Why
You'll fly
on
off-
earth
you'll
would
fly
you
off-
think that? Why would you
Because the
think?
Earth is a
Now,
globe.
let's
Because
just go
the
ahead
Earth
and
is a
take that
globe.
and continue it on.
Okay, I'll show you.
Okay, let's put it this way, Bob, because the angle would increase as you're getting further away from the surface of the Earth. So therefore, eventually you would end up not being on Earth.
Exactly. Yeah. According to the globe model, you could take off a plane at 1 meter altitude and just stay straight and just gain altitude. You don't need to go up.
Exactly. That's the whole point. It's like he doesn't understand how geometry works.
Mm.
Yeah, yet he says that curved line is straight and it's simple geometry. That's his exact words he used.
Oh my God.
Because the ground is literally falling away from them on their model. It's not
Exactly.
optically, it's physically falling. So that means you have to physically follow that curve. And there's no physically following the curve at all.
You should change the science thing in your name to Bob the Dumbass Guy.
Bob contradicts it.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Bob Contradicts Himself. Welcome to my channel.
Right?
Well, at least that would be the truth.
Yeah. Insane.
If I were to end up in space now, and you
I'll show
say,
you.
quote unquote, I fly straight.
I'll show you.
But no, you don't need to show me. I'm telling you. So if you
You
fly
can tell me all you
straight
want,
like
but
a
I'll show you.
laser, you're going to gain an altitude
I love
to
that.
go across.
I love that. You can tell me all you want, but I'll show you.
I'll show you.
I love that.
I knew at this point he's going to get cooked. So yeah, he's burying himself right now.
Uh-huh.
The ground because you're flying straight.
Yeah, but you never dip the nose down, right?
However, you don't fly straight. You fly at a pressure altitude above the surface, and whether that surface is curved or flat, it doesn't matter.
But you never dip the
You're
nose
flying a
down,
set
right?
Distance.
But what I'm trying to say
So
is you
flying a
never dip
set
the nose down.
altitude above the ground does not change whether it's flat or spherical.
You know, this is one thing I've realized with him as well. Even on your curved ball, even if you're claiming, okay, it's following the same pressure, that pressure has a physical curve to it as it's following because you have columns of air. So the plane has to physically follow that curve. So even your argument, it still has to follow the curve. It's not hard to understand. It's like having a car on a scalar electric. If the scalar electric turns this way, the car has to turn that way to follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, it's only an ad hom if it's in a debating environment anyway. Otherwise, it's just insults. Simple.
But it's not an insult if it's fact.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Look, man, I'm sorry if it's like that, but you contradicting, condescending, acting little children out here like you, Bob, and FTFE, you just begin to wear on a person's nerves after a while. You're so dishonest. You lie. You're an agent of Satan, man. That's all there is.
Yeah. Just another tool
At the moment,
to play with.
He's just in denial. That's all, guys.
Yeah. Big time.
Well, it does, because if you're flying over a globe,
Why would 40,000 feet above a sphere be any different than 40,000 feet above a flat plane?
because if you're flying over a globe, you'll end up in space. I'll show you. One second.
Yeah, that's a basic misunderstanding that you have. You see that
It's
red
basic.
line right there? That is a level line to the surface of the Earth. It's the same elevation or altitude above the surface.
Can you define
Follow
flat
that
real
line.
quick? You need to
No,
find
that's
flat.
Centric.
It's
Flat
level.
is on a geometric plane. Can you define level?
Yeah, straight,
No.
horizontal.
Nope.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's exactly what level is by definition. Horizontal, flat,
Yeah.
no point higher
Nope.
or lower than the
Yeah,
other.
lower than the other.
Smooth.
Exactly.
Listen,
Exactly.
it's
It's so
simple.
funny.
It flies, yes, and I will agree. It flies level, parallel to the surface of the Earth.
Watch.
Okay.
I make
Note
a
this, though. Note this: arcs are not parallel to one another; they are concentric to one another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something you're not understanding.
yeah. I make a
Yeah.
really good analogy with radar.
Oh
you'll
yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's actually very good.
Yeah.
It's gonna get there now, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So
Level is equal elevation above a surface.
Oh, really?
So
That's not what I
if
read.
an object is 5 feet above the surface and you have a
Wait,
whole
sorry,
field
that's
of objects
flat?
that are 5 feet above the surface, they are level to each other.
Hang on, did you say that was flat? The definition of flat?
Flat is a plane. It's a line on a plane.
See the diagram that my Rakir's got up? If
Yes.
you're flying a plane perfectly straight and level, you're saying you never dip the nose down. Why would you not end up in space?
Because you follow the red line, you're flying level, the same elevation
So-
above the ground.
Right, so then the plane's nose dips down.
Not relative to the ground, no.
So then you fly up in space.
Good Lord, the level.
It's very,
of
like, I don't know if you're being
have is
deceitful here,
amazing.
because this is, like, really basic, dude.
Yeah,
You-
I know.
First
I'm
you said,
surprised that you don't get it.
first you said,
Planes do not fly straight like a laser. Planes fly at an altitude above the ground, and if
Right.
the ground is curving underneath it, that altitude.
hang on.
It's
So
curving.
if what if the ground is not curving and it's just flying straight and level, like you just said? It's equally as valid for me to just say that the Earth is flat and you're flying flat over a flat plane,
It's
right?
not a test of flat versus
Why?
curve. It's a test of is it at the same altitude or not.
So then flat, Bob. Is it at the same altitude? So not curved then.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
so
man.
basic. It's like, I don't know.
Level arcs, huh?
This is
Yeah.
just this honesty from his guy. That's all it is. He knows he's in a pickle, but he can't just concede. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll never concede.
Well, the whole
You'll
argument.
gain
Level is
altitude. Hey,
defined
wait,
with
wait.
the same altitude.
When you shoot a radar that bounces and it goes really far and it bounces off the ionosphere, that radar signal's gaining altitude, right? At
Yes.
horizontal?
Yes.
Right. How come the
And
plane
that's
going
not how
straight?
planes fly.
How come the plane going straight doesn't end up doing the same thing?
Because the radar goes in a straight beam, whereas the plane maintains an altitude above sea
You
level.
can't be serious. You're not a pilot.
I am serious. That's why
on,
you
dude.
have radar shadows.
No, you have radar shadows because of angles.
Yeah, I looked that up after. I was like, this has nothing to do with anything.
I actually did a few videos on radar and stuff and how it actually shows it to be flat. This is like insane.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How he
the-
claims that.
So the laser's fine, it can follow a straight line, but the plane flying a straight and level line is not following a straight and level line.
Yeah.
So much sense. Oh man.
So you're
That's why-
telling wait,
that's
hang
why
on.
you can fly under the radar.
You're telling me your plane noses down without you knowing.
I'm saying the plane maintains an altitude and follows
No,
whatever.
no.
that
Answer
altitude
my
is above the
question.
ground.
In order to make that red line over the globe there, you have to curve the line, right, to draw it, yeah?
All right, turn the globe sideways and
No.
tell me where
Hang
the
on.
plane that's
Answer the
directly
question. It's a
above-
very simple question. The red line.
Okay,
in
the
order to
simple
draw that
answer is
red
no.
line,
You don't. It's not.
you don't have to
dipping
draw.
its nose.
You don't have to draw a curve. Are you joking?
No, I'm not. It's just basic
Wow.
geometry and spatial
Basic
awareness.
geometry, guys.
Wow.
So,
So
if you
you're
look at that plane that's over there at the right
You
side.
just say spatial awareness. But he's claiming you can't observe it.
Yeah. Also, how do you turn a globe sideways?
But how can
Yeah,
you
that-
claim spatial awareness and claim you can't observe it? That's literally opposite of spatial awareness, Bob.
Jesus.
Does he even understand the words he's saying out of his mouth?
I really don't think so.
They're like automatons or something. They're just like
programmed AI robots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear they get dumber by the day. I swear.
They just repeat talking points
continuously.
It's like he talks, but he doesn't think before he talks.
Yeah.
Right? Now hold it up now turn it so that the ground is directly underneath it. Tell me whether or not that plane is going down or up. It's staying the same.
So you're saying
It's in
you
level
don't.
flight.
So you're saying you don't need to draw a curved line.
You are drawing a curved line.
But then the plane goes. But then the plane.
Surface of the Earth.
You're right. So the plane is nosing down without you knowing.
The plane is maintaining a height above the ground. It's not nosing down relative to the ground.
Buddy, in order to fly around a globe and to go all the way around it, you need to draw a curved line around the globe, which means you have to nose down. Otherwise, you end up in space.
Ground, you don't. You're not looking at this from the moon. You're looking at it from the ground.
It doesn't matter.
That's simple. You'll either be flying into space or you'll be flying vertical by the time you get to the equator.
The altimeter is just giving you the altitude you're at. The
exactly
fucking artificial horizon is showing that you're running level.
And by the way, that altimeter is based on your horizontal that you set on the runway.
That's hilarious.
Good gravy.
Dip your nose to go around the curve because you're not changing altitude.
Just tell me one more time. Does the plane's nose dip down? Yes or no? Holy shit. So it's equally as valid for me to just say if the Earth was flat and you're flying over a flat plane that you don't nose down, you're flying.
It's not a test of flatness or spherosity.
It would be the same thing, right?
It's not a test of that.
It would be the same thing. No.
You're testing whether or not it's maintaining
it would be equally as valid for me to just say the plane flies flat.
Yes.
Over a flat.
You're not making any statement about the shape of the ground. You're simply making a statement that it's
You clearly are. You're talking about, is it curved or is it straight? Are you flying down or are you going straight? That's literally the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Equally as valid.
Altitude above the ground.
Bob, chill. It's equally as valid. Okay,
but
it's equally as valid.
To interrupt my answers.
I'm trying to say
be
something
done
for
with
like
this
the last 5 seconds. You're not letting me. It's equally as valid for me to just say the plane flies over a flat surface.
Mm-hmm.
It could be equally valid to say anything because you're not testing for it.
Holy shit. But if you're flying flat over a globe, you end up in space. It's so simple, dude.
To you, maybe.
Yeah,
because you don't understand what you're talking about, but
I do very clearly. And every time you'll end up in space,
flat and level,
hence,
you know the difference.
Hence the plane dips its nose. So you're saying that the plane doesn't dip its nose down, yet it does, but you're not aware of it.
It's flying the same altitude above the ground. It doesn't care what the shape of the ground is.
Right. So if it's flying over,
but it has to change because the rigidity of the horizontal reference, thanks to you taking off on a runway with the gyro, Bob. Literally going against what you just said.
Yeah, another contradiction in the bag.
Then you know what? Just tell every pilot in reality, you know what, guys, if you're gonna fly a plane, don't set the gyros in motion. Just fly.
Yeah, just fly. There's no point. You don't need to do anything.
Because the gyros are just useless. They're not there for anything.
They're just there for show.
Yeah. Because that's what Bob's actually arguing, guys. He's saying the gyro is not needed.
Yeah, he's saying it adjusts itself and it stays level around the globe.
Yeah. Oh, and it processes somehow in the vertical when it literally precession works on the same vector that it's spinning. So, yeah.
Here.
over a globe, How come it doesn't gain altitude over a long distance?
Should I show something?
Well. A pilot who thinks the Earth is a globe crashes attempting
This
to
was funny.
curvature. So what he was attempting to do was dip his nose to prove that the Earth is a ball. But instead of he went straight into the ground and crashed, proving that the Earth is in fact not a globe. You see, the map that pilots go by is the new standard map of the world. This is the flat Earth map with Antarctica going around it. You see, even when NASA flies aircrafts, they account for curvature. This is from NASA.gov, derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model. This report details the development of the linear model of a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth, which is also what pilots are taught as well. So by him trying to prove that the Earth is a globe, he actually went against protocol. And this just goes to show we have to trust God's word. This is how it explains the Earth.
Yep.
God tells us, let God be true, but every man a liar. God bless you guys. Don't forget to like and follow so you can be tapped in with the truth. And I'll see you in the next one.
I reckon the reason why Bob doesn't tell us what plane he flew is because it was that one.
Good deduction. Oh man.
That's well and bad.
I'd also be embarrassed. I'd also be embarrassed. Why did you crash? No, I tried to prove the Earth curved. Oh man.
It didn't work out well.
Because it's maintaining altitude by definition. That's what level is.
But it's not nosing the nose down.
Doesn't need to.
But then it will end up in space. Can you do you see the drawing, dude?
Yeah, I know.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
That's a 2016 drawing from somebody.
What's wrong with it?
Has no idea what they're talking about.
But the thing is, pilots don't account for curvature, like you just said.
What?
Bob, on screen, yeah. This is a ball, okay? This is your beloved globe. Set horizontal. What happens to go around horizontal? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, look, it's nosing down. Oh.
Let's try again. I'm going to do it without dipping. I'm going to do it without dipping the nose, guys.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, let's imagine that pencil is a spirit level. Can you do that, right? Go around the whole globe and keep the spirit level the whole way?
No.
Exactly.
You'd have to go around the globe backwards. Then your head would be at the top of it. Then you'd be at the other side. Then back to the bottom part of the spirit level again.
But yeah, guys, the irony is we don't understand geometry, guys. We don't understand the sphere.
Yeah,
you don't dip the nose.
Yeah.
We don't get basic geometry that a curved line is straight.
Yeah. Well done, Bob.
What makes you think that?
So when it comes to the flight of descent, do you have to compensate for curvature?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. So whenever you land like east to west, if you're landing east and then if you're landing west,
right,
would you have to like slow down or speed up due to Earth's motion?
No.
No?
Nope.
So
Earth's motion has nothing to do with it.
So we don't compensate for the curvature whenever we're landing.
We don't do anything.
And then we don't do anything when it comes to the motion of Earth.
Curvature is.
So Earth has to be a level stationary plane, right?
Fairly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's equally as valid for me to just say it flies over a flat surface.
It's not testing for it one way or the other.
Let's say we're testing for it. It's equally.
You're not testing for it.
Let's say we're testing for it. It's equally as valid for me to say that the plane flies over a flat Earth.
Okay, if you are testing for it specifically, how would you test for it?
You would so the way you fly, like you just said, you level the gyroscope to the ground, and then you fly, right?
Okay. The gyroscope is just for the heading.
And then the gyroscope.
Yeah, the gyroscope is for the heading. It's the horizontal heading. Well done.
Yeah.
And so you know your plane's not going to flip upside down, or so you know you're flying level. That's why you got what we call an angle of attack. So you know you're 2 to 3 degrees nose up to fly level. Without that horizontal reference of your gyro, you're not going to know you are 2 to 3 degrees nose up. And you fly constantly nose up.
Yep.
Well, what happens when you land? Let's put it this way. Let's say you get to the runway. What happens? Do you dip your nose down?
No.
But you
No, still there.
but you do decrease airspeed.
Right.
Yep.
And then you notice the plane goes down.
Yeah.
And the ground
You know,
is getting closer to you.
Yeah. You know what's hilarious? They try to use that argument against me. They're like, oh, but the plane doesn't need a nose down. I go, yeah, that further proves my point.
Exactly.
That
No
it
nose
doesn't nose
down. They don't get it. It's the most simplest thing.
It's hilarious.
Never processes downwards. The nose of the plane's not ever going down. It's actually up, right, to maintain altitude.
There we go.
So you don't nose the plane down. What plane did you fly?
That's not important.
Yeah, because I don't think you're a pilot.
That's fine with you.
Yeah. So Bob, we're still waiting. What plane did you fly, mate?
That's fine with you.
It's not important. It was that plane that crashed.
Man.
Because if you can't admit that if you just keep your heading on east, and then you'd end up south if you don't keep your heading on it, then I don't believe that you're a pilot.
If you're following the line of latitude, you follow the line of latitude, which is always east.
Yeah, but if you let's say you put your heading east and then make a marker where east is, but follow the marker not east, you'll end up south.
Okay, that's not following a heading of east. You're going to drift to the south.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You'll drift to the
but you're
south,
not following east. You start
Yeah,
off
that's what I'm
east and then cover up your compass and just go that.
Bob doesn't understand how it works. If you take like the Gleason map and you're following east, you're going to constantly adjust eastwards because you're following compass.
Yeah, watch out, destroy my list now. Watch.
So it's like when you dead reckon, you'll find yourself out of direction.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to make a video soon for Raichi because Raichi thinks you can't do a triangle on a flat Earth. You know, because the argument, Neil deGrasse Tyson said, if you go from the North Pole and you go 100 miles south and then 100 miles west and you go back at the 100 mile, turn around and go back north, you're going to create a triangle. You can't do this on a flat Earth. Actually, you can.
What?
Of course he can.
It's very easy. I can let you do it now. I'm going to actually do this quickly because this is like the simplest thing. I don't understand what's wrong with these people. Let's say this is the North Pole. I'm going to take some string quickly.
Pink flats. You've been knitting again?
Yeah, I love knitting.
Nice.
I made my wife some pink G-string. There we go. Okay, so this is the North Pole. This is going to represent. This is going to represent the distance. Okay, I'm going to move across north. Let's go west. Okay, let's go back. Again.
Yeah.
Away. Same distance back.
That's a globe.
No, now it's a globe, guys.
It's a globe. It's a globe.
My table's curved, guys.
The table is curved. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. It must be spinning too, because all that movement I'm seeing.
So that's the dumb arguments we get from people like Raichi that claim, flat earthers are dumb. Because that's impossible on a flat earth, guys.
Yeah,
That's
guys,
why she's a goober.
Bob's not a Christian. There's no point me asking if he's a Christian. He's not a Christian.
Can't even quote him correctly. What? Okay. Let's carry on.
Same direction, you're not going to be heading east for long.
Yeah, would that happen? Would that happen on the equator?
No, why would it?
Because Earth's flat.
Actually, on the Gleason map, if you were to start going east as you describe on the equator, you would immediately enter the southern hemisphere and go to the ice wall.
No, you just follow east. You just
Did he
What
just
the
say
heck?
that?
I couldn't believe
You
he
just-
said that, by the way.
You just enter the ice wall. No. You
Yeah, what
follow
the-
you literally follow the latitude and longitude lines.
Yeah, watch
What's
this.
wrong with this guy? Like I just showed with the string. That's what you're doing. You're following
It's a circle.
Bob. Bob.
Poor Bob.
just.
No, look at it.
You would just adjust
Because
for
it's a
east.
circle. You'd be flying a tangent.
Hang on, is east and west circles?
Whoa. Did he just claim you're flying a tangent? He's begging a question of the globe again. I thought you said you don't test the ferocity. Now you're trying to test its ferocity because you're claiming tangent.
From east to west.
On the
Oh, wait,
Gleason
Bob.
map, it's a circle, and you'd be flying an easterly tangent on that circle, which will take you straight out to the ice
Hang
wall.
on, is east to west
Every
circles, Bob?
In reality or on the flat Earth?
In reality.
In reality, east and west are circles. Yes, they're lines of latitude.
Right, so if you
Right, so Gleason map.
Exactly, it's circles.
It's a Gleason map.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't end up
Brilliant.
south following east.
That's what I said. Every time he opens his mouth, he doesn't get that he's wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
maintain
I think
east,
Nathan
you're
Cooks-
doing a circle around the earth, right?
Sorry, what's that?
I think Nathan cooks him now because he gets angry at Nathan.
Oh, yeah. And then he says, I don't talk to you.
Around the sphere, yeah.
Yeah.
Ask in reality or on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth,
Oh, wait a minute. I don't get on panels with this guy.
Are east and west
You have to
circles?
leave or I leave.
Shut up, crybaby. Are
All
east
right,
and west
bye-bye.
circles on a flat Earth?
Yeah, I know you're scared, Bob. Bob, I don't believe
No,
you're a
I don't
pilot,
go
by the
on.
way. I'm
I don't
sorry.
go on panels with guys that molest children.
Why? Okay.
How's that?
Oh,
You know what? I find this
Johnson.
very hypocritical. Bob has the
Wow.
audacity to say flat earthers are sick because they say McToon, there's a thing against him for whatever, something with children, okay? And now he
Yeah,
has the
Bob.
audacity to say Nathan molests children just because Nathan was talking about the flat earth to children.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Bob, the science guy, has a sex offended.
Yes,
crimes.
two.
You
I
guys
think
know?
it's two.
Two.
Really?
Oh wow! What a
I think it's two. Yeah, I think it's two. But apparently he was
Apparently
acquitted. So I don't know.
I think it was with a minor as well. I heard.
But yeah, I find it very hypocritical. He can call someone else like that, literally lying about
Yeah.
it. Actually.
Yeah.
But he has an actual offenses against him.
Exactly. You know what's funny? If Nathan was handing out flyers about Santa Claus, would they have said anything?
Nope.
No.
It's just because it's flat Earth, because they see it as child abuse,
Yeah. Here,
and
here-
we see it as child abuse that they're indoctrinating the children with lies.
this is very telling too, because McToon did that same thing where it's I don't like there's special or something. Would Toon say, that he does not get to appear on a stream with me? Like, get to appear on a stream with you? Who the are you?
Yeah,
Right?
they make themselves like they're this, I don't know, great guys that that
I know,
we
right?
are. We owe them something. We don't owe them anything.
They've got moon rocks in their head. Their pineal gland is petrified.
They still believe that the moon rocks are real, by the way, Angel. No matter how much you tell them that it's petrified wood, they say no. There was just a prank by
Like
someone.
a false
given to-
claim. Yeah.
But literally, NASA presented it to them.
Yeah. So the moon rocks are found on Earth. That confirms the moon landing somehow.
Yeah. And then when you ask them, okay, but they got so much in storage, why don't they test those? No one needs to test. Why do they need to test it? Oh, I don't know, to see if it's actually valid.
Yeah.
It's really idiotic.
Okay, see ya, Bob. See ya.
You spent 7 months in court for felony sex crimes, and I'll tell everyone about it. And I got the
I know
article.
about that,
If
Bob,
anyone
too,
wants to
so,
message
yeah.
me.
See ya, Bob.
Yeah. Later, Bob. We'll see you later, Bob. You crybaby, Bob.
Dude, there's no way he's a pilot,
No.
man. With what he said, no way.
He's an absolute moron, dude.
He's so like, there's no way. He
I
couldn't.
love how I just
I couldn't believe, Rakia. I couldn't believe you had that diagram up with the the plane going into space, and he could you just couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even realize on a globe, because the north and south meet at the poles, you're actually turning anyway. He doesn't even realize that. I don't believe he's a pilot, doesn't
But this is exactly the same argument I have with Wolfie when he says you're claiming you're flying great circle routes. Yeah, because you're flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. That's why you have great circle routes. You're literally following the flat Earth.
Yeah.
You see what Dylan said down there? He said McToon fits the profile of a gay serial killer.
If you want, guys, the other link I put on my TikTok, that's a really good one. It's not too long. It's maybe, I don't know,
3 minutes. We can quickly watch that, yeah, because I usually end at the show by now. But yeah, this is fun. Let's do it quickly.
Yeah, dude, I swear you'll love this one.
Okay. Let me share it quickly.
Okay, so he says Tuesday the 14th is available.
Okay, as long as it's not so late like last time.
Okay.
Because sure, it was hectic to literally only have a half an hour sleep before I had to work.
All right, so cool. So
we can do it a bit earlier. If we can do it a bit earlier, it's fine. And I mean, like if we can start like 11 p.m. or something, then it's fine. But to start so late was kind of hectic.
I just wanted
At
to say,
least an
Angel, you
hour.
rock.
I 100%
Thanks, man.
concur.
Yeah, you did a good job, man, with that. You had him.
Otherwise, I don't mind that time though if it's on a weekend though. So like on
11.
Friday night or Saturday night. Sorry.
What date? What day of the week is the 14th? Tuesday. Okay. So I said cool, but can it be a little earlier? Maybe 2 p.m. your time, because that would be 11 p.m. your time.
Yeah. Just an hour earlier. It will make a difference.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks, man. Okay, we're gonna watch this quickly.
Equally, it's valid for me to just say, you're not nosing down. You're flying straight and level over a flat Earth.
You're not flying over a fucking flat Earth.
So your nose relative to where you were. Hang on. Let me talk now. Now it's my turn. Now it's my turn.
Look how triggered he's getting.
You're getting
Trying to argue semantics.
No, I'm
What
not.
is the definition
You're
of
about to
above
get
mean
cooked.
sea level?
You're about to
What
get
is the
cooked.
definition of above mean sea level? It
The
takes into consideration
same
curvature
altitude.
of
The same altitude.
It takes
You
consideration
maintain the same
of
altitude.
curvature
No,
of
it
the Earth.
doesn't.
Stop
Really?
being disingenuous, angels. You know that I'm fucking right on this. Stop being disingenuous.
You get to debunk yourself soon.
And I'm fucking destroying you at the moment, and you know it.
Yeah.
Go look up what
Hang on.
above mean sea
Okay, I know.
level is.
It's altitude, right?
Tell me above mean sea level.
Same
Go look it
altitude,
up.
right? You said it before.
Go look it up.
You said it before.
Go look it up.
Dude, you're so
Don't
triggered.
be,
Why
don't
so
be
triggered?
disingenuous. Go look it up.
Why are you so triggered? You already said what it is.
Go look it up.
You already
Don't
said
be
it.
disingenuous.
1 second. So
The
is
angels.
this
Again, you're
hang
not
on,
fucking listening.
Hang on.
I'm
Is this
telling
line?
you to go look up
Marco,
the
you already
definition
said
of
what
above
it
mean
is.
sea level.
It means above, maintaining altitude. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
What
it
does it
does.
mean? What does it mean?
No, it doesn't.
What does it mean?
The true definition of above mean sea level. Give me a moment. I will
Say
get this
curve,
for you.
right? You should say curve if you're going
This
over
is,
a flat.
this is the navigation one. This is the navigation one for airline transport pilot license stuff. Okay?
Okay, are you going to tell me what it is yet? Or you're just going to show me a document? Okay, Marco, is this line here, if you're flying around a globe, is this line here curved, Marco?
Hey, Angel,
There's
how
so
many
much
hours
fog
have you
here.
flown?
Is this,
How long have you been a pilot,
zero.
Angel?
I'm not a pilot.
Okay,
What's-
so why
hang
are
on,
you
hang on,
arguing
one
with a professional who does this every day?
Because he's the type of guy that says flat is curved. And you're about to see that
He's
right
the
now.
type of guy whose life and the people's life depend on knowing his shit.
Check this out. Marco, when you maintain the same altitude around a globe, is this line curved?
The line curves because we're taking into consideration the curvature of the Earth.
Really? So that means your
Yes,
nose.
fucking really.
So the nose dips down
You're
then.
a disingenuous
So
fuckwit.
the nose.
I'm going to say this again.
So the nose dips down.
We do not need to nose down at all. Why?
So how come you don't gain altitude then?
All right, angels. You know what?
How come you don't gain altitude? See, he got cooked. He can't even debate it. He said this line is curved, right? But his plane takes this path. His compass, his gyroscope, maintains rigidity in space. It never goes down. Yet he's saying he's taking this path, but he's not nosing down. The plane flies straight, but also curved.
Dude, that's
At the end, I'm like, thanks for the clip.
oh man! But look how triggered he got.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's not the first
Okay,
time.
I got
I've
mean
seen
sea
him
level
before.
up here. Mean sea level, often shortened to sea level, is an average surface level of one or more among Earth's coastal bodies of water from which heights such as elevation may be measured. That's it. It's got nothing to do with curve.
Yeah,
A datum in which
just make up
elevations and contour intervals are generally referred by horizontal.
Uh-oh. Horizontal.
Don't say horizontal there. That's a bad word.
Yeah, that's not flat, remember.
That's a bad word, guys. Oh man. But that's what I said. You just have to bring up a gyro, then they got nothing.
Yeah.
Cheers. Shout out to Josh Monday. It's great to have you in, man. But yeah, I think I gotta end the show. Gotta get up early for exercise again. What do you guys have to say for closing statements?
Just you did excellently, Angel, man. From the start,
That was awesome.
Run, you had him contradicting himself. You had him stop from the start. As soon as we had the first sentence,
Very
that's
nice.
it. We said it's over, it's done. Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
And your little statement of him, that plane being his, crash because they're trying to take down the curve. You want to know what's funny is it wouldn't surprise me that it would be him. You know what I mean? Because he sits and he thinks he can try and prove a point, and then when he does something really dumb like that, and now he doesn't want to admit it, right?
Yeah, it could be. It's funny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I've got it set. So Jaren's going to contact him as well. I put some stuff about a possible time here in the chat. I don't know if he's still here or not, but Jaren's going to contact him. He says, yeah, that's great. He could actually go even a little earlier if you wanted to.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, that'd be great.
we'll see what happens. This is kind of a trick coordinating stuff with a guy on the East Coast to a guy on the West Coast regarding a guy in South Africa.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah.
So you have to do all this.
I'm flexible. I'm more flexible on the weekends though.
Right.
That way, yeah. But that's cool.
That
But yeah,
rolling.
Angel.
I got
Angel,
a
you did-
premiere coming. I'm premiering. Just going to restream that debate we did on debated
yeah,
the other night.
Part 6.
So
Yeah,
that'd be
awesome.
fun.
So you're not going to have a show tonight, though?
All right.
No, just that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, guys, go watch the premiere, the debate between myself and Dave against McToon and FTFE. Did you watch that debate, Angel? On Jared?
Oh, I might have.
Yeah.
When was that?
It was like a month ago, 2 weeks ago. Maybe. What?
Yeah, a week ago, week or so ago. Let me see. It was.
2 weeks. I
It
think
was
it's 2 weeks ago.
May 1st.
Wait, what was it? You and who?
Me and Dave versus McToon and FTFE.
Well, Gary, why come in as a soccer account? If you got to whinge Miss Mod for that, she banned them.
How did you forget something that was only a few days ago?
She timed them out for a reason, and she doesn't have to justify why she timed them out, Gary. So if you've got to come in as a sock and say something, then obviously she's got to time you out. If she's got to think you're a sock. Obviously, Gary Wabenga. Sorry.
I saw your debate Flatzoid with Craig. It's funny, like in the comments, they're all bagging you, right? Because there's so many Globers, right? But from us listening to it from standpoints of actually knowing things, dude, you wrecked it.
Yeah, but that's how it usually is. They're always just. But that's the problem with Globies. They're always going to cry, "Oh, we are winning! We are winning! You know, we won." But when you look at the actual content brought, they don't bring anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
If
posted
it
my
was in a
YouTube
court of
channel.
law,
Check it out.
She doesn't have to justify why she timed Bob out the Gary. She timed him out for a
No.
reason, obviously. Simple.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
if you come in as a sock to ask her why, then she's obviously got to think she's getting attacked, so she'll time you out. Obviously, Gary. So don't come in as a sock. Simple, dude. Sorry.
Sorry, yes. Troll socks are not really welcome here, so she's just doing what she's been told to do. So
Exactly.
But yeah, look at that last debate with myself and Dave. It was based on gas pressure and curve. So it was
wow.
funny. Yeah.
that would be good.
They brought up curve and we decided to debate the gas pressure. It was good.
Here's a link to a little video that talks about the flat Earth won in court.
Oh, in court, yeah, it was also good. Yeah, because they took the flat Earth to court, and they couldn't show it was curved. So even in court, I think they took Garcia, was it Garcia or something?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Pastor.
No,
He
guys,
was a Christian flat earther or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, she hasn't got a power trip. She's doing what she's been taught to do. Simple as that. She hasn't got a power trip.
Okay.
She's got a spanner,
So yeah, guys.
not a power trip.
So yeah, guys, thank you for coming. Really appreciate you all. Angel, brilliant stuff. Definitely awesome. I'm gonna follow you more on TikTok and watch you, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I've got good
I
content
subscribe
there
to your YouTube channel as well.
All right.
And,
yeah, thanks, man.
So guys, have an awesome evening further, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for another epic stream. And
I was going to say, Jaron just said that Bob wants 1 p.m. Pacific, which is going to make 4 p.m. my time, which is 10 p.m. your time.
That's perfect. Perfect.
Right.
Gary, I haven't got any sock accounts. I've only got one account, the PJ Cruikshank. Simple as that. And sorry, his word is truth. A shared account. I've got no socks. No.
It doesn't really matter though.
I know.
Anyway,
but he keeps going on.
yeah.
He keeps going on. Vicky's got to feel bad. You know what I mean?
No, Vicky's doing an awesome job. Shout out to
I know
Vicky.
she
She's a
is.
brilliant mod.
Vicky's doing
Anyway,
a good job.
Brilliant job.
cheers guys for coming. Thank you for coming all. I'll see you guys then all tomorrow night.